can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of means. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived.
I'm bringing Dre on. He jumping on, and we still waiting for Fort Worth Barber Supply. Everybody that's waiting for FW Barber Supply, stick in there. We are getting him on. We're just waiting for him to get. He's probably busy. When you franchise a business, no, I'm assuming it keeps you busy. So he's probably busy doing back row. My boy Cut Flow, Drizzy.
What's going on?
Cut Flow.
Hey, what's good, bro?
What's going on? How you living?
What's up, guys? I heard what y'all was talking about right now. I heard what y'all was talking about right now. Pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
You was talking about how your wife, how you what were you just saying right now? You looking at your books now, and now what?
When I first, and I told you the story when I was working in the school system. I was cutting part-time. So what I would do, we rented a home from my cousin, and when we bought a home, both of them, the home we rented had a little space off the ground, so we set up as a shop. So when we bought our home, we built the same look in our current home. And so when I got ready to go out to the barbershop, my wife was cool with me cutting full-time at home, but she couldn't understand why would you go into the shop, pay booth rent, like you're at home. So she really couldn't see the vision of that, even though she supported me cutting hair full-time. And once I jumped out there and went full-time into the shop, man, it exceeded her expectations.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something real quick. I know I got like some noise in the background. Is it cutting everything off?
No, I can hear you.
No, it's not bothering? Okay.
Hey, and then, our ears are different. We work in the barbershop all day, so it's almost like you don't need to hear the ambient noise no more. You focus in on what you're hearing. Let me ask everybody that's in joining the live, is the sound in the background distracting to you guys? Because we want to make sure we're presenting the best product that we can and you can hear everything that's going on. And
I had one guy. I got two barbers still working. Well, one barber still working, so I could cut off the music right now.
No.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now.
Oh, okay. Take care of your business, whatever you want to do. While we waiting on them to do that, we have AJ Blends, which is a brother. We definitely want to get on here at some point, man, because he's making a lot of noise, and I haven't seen nobody promote themselves and promote what they're doing as successfully as he has, man. This dude, he really getting in on that promoting. But he had a question. His question was, what motivates you guys to stick to barbering? What motivates you guys to continue to get up every day, and despite whatever the outcome was the previous day, to keep on going in there and being a barber? What makes you get up and say, damn, I'm glad I'm a barber?
I mean, with me, it's like, I already created a monster, you know what I'm saying? So like, when it comes to my clients, that's what drives me, man, the clients, because it's like, I gotta be true to them. I gotta be on point for them, you know what I'm saying? And that's what drives me more than anything, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I do it for my family. I do it for the future plans that I got going that I need to fund. But when it comes down to it, like, the clients themselves are my clientele are the ones that drive me to push me and just, I don't know, like, me making them happy and just knowing the type of people that I have, like the type of clientele I have now. It's like just good people, hardworking people, people I look up to. So I'll definitely do it for them. I mean, not do it for them, but like, they are the ones. It's not like the spark plug to my whole engine. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What about you, Ice? What keeps you dedicated to barbering?
Honestly, for me, and it's a number of things, but the number one thing is the craft. I love what I do. For so long, I got caught doing things that I kind of fell out of love with, right? And so for me, being able to get up and do something every day that I enjoy, that's the number one priority. Of course, it takes care of the family. Love my clients, they're loyal, but I love what I do. And I think that's part of the reason why I have such loyal clients as well, because I think it comes through.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what both of y'all said. And for me, it's a little unique, right? It's a little different. Barbering is the first thing I've ever done in my life in regards to work or career or maintaining financial responsibility. Barbering is the first thing work-related that I've ever done in my life. I didn't get bored with it. This hasn't become boring to me. It hasn't. It's so much to learn and there's so much to do. It's always areas of improvement with this because you can never master it. You can get as good as you can get with everything you're doing, but it's still so many different avenues that you got to learn in so many different ways, especially in today's generation, right? In today's generation, you got to, hey, Dre, mute yours real quick, bro. They kind of
Oh,
loud.
my bad, bro.
You good. And in today's generation, you have to know how to be more than just a barber, right? You got to know how to be a barber. You got to know how to be a salesman. You got to know how to be a therapist. You got to know how to actively listen to your clients. You got to know how to actively listen to the barbers around you. You got to be able to take constructive criticism and apply it. And a lot of those things you got to do on the fly. So it's so many different elements and layers to barbering that I've fallen in love with the pursuit of improvement when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Just getting better where I can get better and finding areas to improve. Honestly, barbering has helped me to improve and become a better man. I believe a better human being.
I totally agree. It's so many variables when you really lock in and you love what you do. It's so many things. That's the thing. You can get up every day and you can chase that next level. There's no ceiling, and that's the beautiful part. What's going on, Crenshaw Coop?
Crenshaw Coop, what's going on? What is that? Kayla Cuts. I seen KB Cuts come in. Let's do a couple shout outs to a couple people in here. AJ Blends, I seen some more questions you got. I'm gonna pull them up in 1 second. We got raising hands 360 down here with a great question. I seen is selfie elder or it's I don't know. Tell me how to pronounce that. I'm gonna kill it, bro. I got that Chicago public school education, bro. I'm trying not to show it on here. You feel me? But I ain't gonna slaughter it. Okay, so we got raising hands 360 say, how do you deal with a significant other that says they support your brand, but their actions are contrary to that? How do you deal with a significant other if you've experienced that? Or anybody on here, how do you deal with a significant other whose their actions aren't showing the support that they claim that they have for your grind?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
So you want me to start?
A great question. Yeah, man, take that one, bro.
So for me, right? You have because
you got to think about
sometimes in all actuality, I've dealt like the wife supports me 100, but at the same time, I think what it is that we have to learn a balance, right? We can't get caught up in it and do it 24/7. And sometimes when you're doing something that you're truly passionate about, that you truly love, and you find it interesting, you're growing, sometimes it can kind of consume. So I think, the biggest thing is that, and we've talked about it plenty of times on here before, is creating the balance. You know what I mean? And so giving her time, like even with me coming on this vacation, I'm still learning balance. Me and my wife been together 27 years, but I'm still learning the balance. So when we came, I said, look, I'm not going doing certain stuff. So, we turned it in early today, so you mind, man? She's like, please go ahead and do your thing. But it's creating that balance, making sure, and sitting down and coming to an equal medium, wanting to know what is it that your significant other wants from and for you, because it's imperative that we take care of the family as well. So no matter what you do, you're going to have to go to work to take care of the family. So I think it has to be a equal negotiation, but I think ultimately creating a balance where you're giving the wife and the family what they need as well.
Absolutely. This is my brother KB Blends, KB Cuts,
Hey
KB
man,
Go,
stop it,
KB
stop it, stop
military
it, stop
pilot.
How you doing,
Hey,
good
man,
What's
brother?
going on,
uh,
brother?
he's master of many things, and he's one of them. Remember, we was having a conversation about how it's a whole new generation of younger barbers and just younger men and women who have a much more grounded, methodical approach to understanding what they want to do in their careers and what they want to do with their lives. And they're already at the point in their 20s where they're not figuring out who they are. They're figuring out how to improve what they know they are, right? To me, he's definitely a big representation of that. So we want to pose that question to you, be it that coming from your perspective, from the perspective of the youth, because we all here with two old dudes. So
Hey
from the
man, black don't
perspective of
crack.
the youth, man, how would
I
you
said that black don't crack,
huh?
man.
It don't, but hell, soul ain't fair. You hear me? But how would you approach if you were in a hypothetical scenario where you was putting your everything into barbering or whatever it is your career pursuit was, and your significant other, their actions weren't conducive to the
First of
support that they say that they have for you?
me personally, I'm one of those people that, when I feel like I have a passion for something, or if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. So for you to say that you my significant other and you don't have that passion for me to feel successful or for me to be happy, it's like if you don't support my decisions on, or back me up, not even if you just you can not support it, but long as you showing me that, what I'm saying, you have some type of care that of my feelings, of my passion, I feel that, what I'm saying, because I
Mm-hmm.
came from, like, when I started cutting hair, my mom didn't support it at all. She was just like, go to college, you got to get a degree to, what I'm saying, be successful. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, what I'm saying, I respect everything you have to say, but me personally, this is my passion, and without you going and doing what you had to do, I respect what you had to do, but you can't really show me how to be a millionaire because you're not a millionaire. You know, you have to have that
Very
outside
true.
of the box mentality. You can't let other people, or even the closest people to you, you can care for them dearly, but you can't let other people throw off your mentality or tell you how to live your life, because it, I can't even get it out right now, man. You have to
No,
have
I
that
definitely
set
understand.
mentality, and you have to run off of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to really believe the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. But I definitely agree with a balance.
I
You got
agree
to
with
keep
that.
that balance as well. But if you truly say that you love me, you support me, you're going to show that support system.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the biggest thing I agree with you on, and what kind of helped me through something similar to, because I experienced something like that, not necessarily from my spouse, but more so from people who I thought was in support and who was in agreement and pushing for me to find success in this. That it later on turned out that they just wanted me to do, but don't
Yeah,
grow beyond them.
yeah,
And once I started to kind of outgrow that standard that they had set for themselves, once I started to outgrow that, then it became a lot of
I
yeah,
definitely
it's a lot
feel
of
that, man.
a lot of
They
this.
say you'll find out who really
Yeah,
rock with you when you start a business, man, and that is 100% true.
absolutely. You'll really find out who rock with you when you start to take
Exactly.
anything serious in your life. You start to take something serious enough in your life where you become obsessed with it, you put your time into it, and you start to capture any manner of success with it, you'll start to see the people who are truly supportive of that. You'll see the support because it won't change. It won't
Yeah.
waver. Who they've been won't change. If anything, they may start to things that could benefit you. If they come across it, they're gonna start calling,
Exactly.
hey man, ain't you hey, I heard you was doing X, Y, and Z, man. I just came across this guy that's selling such.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't you use that? You know what I'm saying? Versus some people that if the love was fake from the beginning, it's going to trigger their own insecurities once they see you start to elevate
Everybody
into
want to
what
see
you're
you
doing.
shine, but just
Right?
not
So
higher
the
than
thing,
them.
Yeah, they don't want to see you go further than them. The thing that I agree the most with what you said, though, was you cannot allow yourself to be limited by somebody else's fears. A lot of people will try to force their fears on you. Their fears of failure, their fears of incompletion, or their insecurities, whatever they may have that may be hindering them from moving forward and pursuing what they want to do. A lot of people are trying to hold you accountable for their fears and shortcomings, man. You cannot do that, bro. You cannot do that. At some point, you got to go past all that, and you got to almost become obsessive over this, bro. If you want to do something, you want to be successful with it, you got to make that obsession like it's dope. I got to have it. It's not I want to have it. I got to have it.
It's not even cognitive. It's that confidence. You got to have that confidence, man. I'm telling you. Because it'll make you go beyond measures that you thought you could go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you want something bad enough, you'll do something you ain't never done before to get it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And that's what I mean. You see what I'm saying? That's coming from that youthful perspective, bro. But the dude already got his head. Look, he made me sign up for a golf tournament, bro.
Hey, man, I just went about a new club today, bro.
Man, listen, just because of his confidence in golf. Oh, I'm going to the guy and I'm showing up with my tight pants on.
I'm gonna have to clean the coochie cutters out.
And I'm playing. We had another one down here, though, Barbie Pink Barber. We getting you on. As a matter of fact, when we get done with this one, please get in her inbox so that we have it fresh. That way we can remember to get. We're going to set up an episode. We're going to do a promo video. We're going to do everything to show the love back to you that you've been showing to the podcast, because we cannot say thank you enough. You've been extremely supportive, extremely consistent. We want to get you on. Definitely. Every week you on here. And her question was, what keeps your passion in the barbering industry? For her, is how she feels like I give back in life. Oh, so for her, it's the feeling of giving back. That's what keeps her passionate in the barbering industry. For you, gentlemen, what keeps you passionate in the barbering industry?
I know for me, man, it's the challenge of change, man. It's the challenge of change. Always having the ability to grow. I'm one of those people that, you know, I don't want to be set to a limit, set to a certain standard. I want to always achieve higher than what is seen, you know. You can't. Yeah, that's really what it is for me.
So for me, I think what keeps me motivated is I've been doing it for a number of years. Like, you know, I haven't always done it full time, but I've watched the evolution. What's up, Tank?
What's up, Tank?
The evolution. It continues to grow. It doesn't stay stagnant and in one place. You're watching the evolution. I would consider this, as I always say, the golden era of barbering. You've never seen people earn this way. You've never seen some of the things that are going on. So the evolution, and because of the evolution, you don't have a ceiling. You know, you can climb as high as you want with this thing. You can be a barber in a shop. You can be a shop owner. You can be a traveling barber. You can do so many different things. You know, you can compete and battle. You can be an educator. Man, you can, you know, people making a living off of social media. It's so many outlets in this industry that it has no ceiling.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I agree with both of those. For me, it's this what we're doing right now, fellowship. Being able to communicate with people, meeting people. That's I'm learning more and more about myself, and that's my passion, man. My passion. I like cutting hair. I love cutting hair. I love the lifestyle of barbering, but nothing can compare to being in a space where I can allow my personality to just be. I could just be who I am. This is, again, compared to jobs I've worked and working at Nissan, working at Burger King, working at Dirt Cheap, working at Gold Blast, and all these jobs I've had in my life. This is the only space that it's ever been allowed and accepted and encouraged for me to be me. So That
No
got a
doubt.
hook in me immediately. Anywhere I could just be I got a big personality, man. So I'm oftentimes forced into situations and environments
Kind of
where I have to be
constricts
apologetic
what
for
you're
that.
able to get. Yeah.
Yeah, barbering don't allow for that. Anything if in barbering, if you shut down and you not being
I
your
was
real
gonna say
self,
the
you'll hit a
limits.
ceiling real fast.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll hit a ceiling fast. The more you lean into being who you are, discovering who you are, and the more you lean into that, oh my God, it's like dropping the top on that S550, bro. It's gonna take all of
Right.
that away.
No doubt.
You can go as far
No
as you want
doubt.
to go.
No doubt.
Yeah. So we know a lot of people joined. If this is your first time on, I'm seeing a lot of new names on here. Shout out Rolo Cuts, I believe it is. Shout out Rolo Cuts. If this is your first time joining, please make sure you hit that little arrow up top, drop down, and go and follow our Cut My Way Out podcast. Go follow KB Cuts. Go follow Osh. Go follow Shy if you feel like it. You ain't got to because I'm gonna follow you anyway. But this is our Cut My Way Out podcast. We here every Wednesday at 7:30 tonight. We have plans to have both Cut Flow Dre and Fort Worth Barber Supply on. I believe Fort Worth Barber Supply is pretty busy. He got some things going on that he may not be able to make it, but the night's still young. He might still be able to make it on. We only
Local barber
29
brand.
minutes in, so we'll see. If you don't know who you got on here, you got Tank B Chopping on here. I know y'all done seen him before because he been putting out content like crazy, bro. It's to the point. Listen, it's to the point that as soon as I pick up my Instagram, he the first face I see on. I done seen him in different states. Then here's the crazy part. I start scrolling on other people's pages to check their content out, and he on their damn page and they content too,
See,
bro.
I just seen him for the first time. I clicked
bro.
on his page. I was looking. I was like, man, I'm finna got to follow over there.
Right.
He cold, bro.
He going at
cold, bro. He was gonna get on at 8:30. Okay, bet. So he gonna jump on around 8:30. Y'all around the same place, so I think it's also a time difference y'all way too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So 8:30, cool. So 30 more minutes, we'll have him on here. I'm interested to ask him some questions, man, because I'm dying to know what does it take to franchise a business like that, man.
I'm sure.
Dying to know. Matter of fact, while we on here and we getting everything set up, Barbie Pink Barber, are you available to come live with us? Are you in a position to jump on here and talk to us for a second? Give us some of that game. Ask some of those questions live that you be putting in the comments.
I'm gonna have to get over time. You know, I'm finna get ready to move down to Texas soon. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
And
I'm
you
gonna be in Cleveland.
Link up with Tank when you get down.
It's right up the street from Houston.
Cleveland, Texas.
Really?
Bro, Texas so big. I don't know what nothing is, man. I was in Dallas for 3 days and kept telling people I was in Houston, bro. I ain't know where I was.
Bro.
Texas is enormous, bro. It's huge. It is enormous. When you say, give me just a few minutes, bet. I'm gonna be up there just like y'all. You up there with us already, bro. Ain't nothing different from what you doing and what we doing, bro. We all passionate about this industry. And if any barber tell you they do anything more than put hair on the floor, don't believe them. That's all we do, man. We and somebody building,
I ain't even in the building. Look.
Hey, listen, we just
put some hair on the floor.
I'm
finna upload a video in a few minutes. Like soon as I slide off this, I just cut up my girl, her little brother. Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. Okay. I'm gonna throw a little reel up real quick.
Hey, I got one I throw up, man. I edited, and before I got sick, I did these undercut with these real high def
man, I need to come up
the
there. I need to, you gotta teach me how. I gotta get my clippers to hit like yours. Like I need to drop mine all the time.
Your clip still be hitting, bro. Let me tell you the secret though, right? It don't matter how sharp your clippers are. If you just put in what you want to do, get that line as close as you can get it with the clippers you have. Hit it with some lather or hit it with some shave gel, hit it with a hot towel or wash their hair, dry the oil off the skin, get all the dirt off the skin, and then hit it with a razor, bro. Nothing is closer than that razor.
I've been trying to sketch and do that in people's heads, especially like, because I don't have that many clients that get designs. So I do it in the back of their fade. If I'm finna give them a fade, I'm gonna just throw a little design in the back of the fade, and then I just go clean it up and cut it off.
No, I just saying you put some clean designs in some hair. I'm not buying into none of that you talking, bro. Absolutely
My bad about
not.
earlier, bro.
And the thing that
Oh, you good?
I like about your skill set, cutting, bro, I don't know if you know how talented you are at cutting multicultural hair. I've seen you cut straight, curly, coarse, balding, thin, gray,
Yeah, I'm trying,
and it all looks good.
That was
bro.
my biggest accomplishment, I say, because like I just saw like when I used to work in the shop and stuff, and I see, you know what I'm saying, being in the black shop, you have white customers come in, you know, you'll see a lot of barbers like not trying to cut their hair because they don't. So now you limiting yourself to how much money you can make. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna learn how to cut every race, so you know what I'm saying, I can get it in with whoever, you know.
Absolutely. I got a great question. KB, do me a favor and drop off so I can bring Pink Barbie up, and we gonna get her on. Go ahead and edit that video because I want to see it. Don't leave the live though, because it's gonna be a lot more.
I'm over here. I'm smoking the hookah, chilling.
Hey, Shot.
All right,
Shot.
nice to meet you, bro.
Say less.
Hey, Shot,
Y'all be
I was
safe.
gonna say I got a client. You too, brother. I got a client that I'm gonna get because I was supposed to get him afterwards, but I heard Fort Worth gonna come on like 8:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and I called him over so I can get him now, and I'll jump on right after.
You gonna do this?
Okay. If you take that Dallas Cowboy hat off, that
now, you know what it is. You know what it
faster,
is. You know what I mean. I threw it
off.
when we lost in the playoffs. I threw it, and I haven't put it. Well, I have put it on. That's a lie. But today I put it on to work because we released Zeke, so I feel like we're doing something a little different now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel a little better.
Ooh.
Plus,
did they say who we signed into? Did they say who we signed into?
I don't deal with none of that.
They don't even.
No, but on some real, I know we got Stephon Gilmore, so I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying? But I know everybody don't like the Cowboys, but just so y'all know, I'm not one of them Cowboy fans, bro. I'm a realist. Like I don't even talk about the Super Bowls, bro. Like even though I saw those Super Bowls when I was younger, I don't talk about those, bro. I'm all about this year, bro. This year, that's it. So I ain't like
Yeah. Like he said, take that Bears hat off, but we gonna convert everybody to the Chicago this year. You hear me, bro? Don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that.
I see y'all right now, man.
Hey, you gonna come back with the sticky fingers dance, bro?
Bro, I was talking to Shy yesterday about the sticky figure dance, right? So what people don't understand is that when my son was recording me, and I was like, I gotta do something because I say sticky finger dance in the song, right? So I'm like, I gotta do something, right? So I just do a whole bunch of different stuff, and that one just looked the most like that was the only one. I think out of the 10 takes, I think that's the only one that looked like I actually did it on purpose. like my moves look like I actually did it on purpose. Everything else was just like all over the place. That one was actually controlled. I was like, we going with this. We going with this one. So yeah, I think I put the pressure on myself now that they're gonna ask me to perform it. So I'm gonna have to perfect it.
Gonna have to get it together, right?
I was just saying, to perfect that thing, you're gonna have to be able to get.
I'm gonna have to just bust it out at any moment. Like that's how good I'm gonna get at it, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all right now.
Okay, man.
All right, bro.
Okay, bro. Barbie Pink Barber on that thing. How you doing? What's going on? How's life treating you? How was your barber day? Did you work today?
I did work today. It was good. I was booked 9 to 6. Had a half an hour lunch. Actually got to eat, which was nice.
Oh man. You're already making more than I am. I don't be eating at all, bro.
Well, I used to work at a chain salon and I wouldn't get to eat, and I'm anemic, so I have to if my clients want me to cut their hair, not shave.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, today was a good day. It was a great day. You know, I got to see my clients. I got to shoot some content today. Had a lot of fun. Got to show off more on my Instagram page. Was excited to see some more followers pop up because I'm trying to grow it. So.
Absolutely. Let me make sure I follow you. Before I get off here, I got to make sure I follow you.
Yeah, a lot of my content right now is just some of my work, and I'm trying to get some more like inspirational stuff on there. I have some stuff, but I want to make it like a, show off tools and make it inspirational and advice as well, and I just want to show off some female representation in our industry as well. So
Absolutely.
And my thing is too, is I just don't want it to be like sexualized female representation. That's why I try.
Absolutely not. We don't subscribe to that at all over here.
Yeah. Because I see some stuff and I'm like, hey, I get it. She's in a crop top and that makes some guys happy, but that ain't.
I can't stand to see it though. I cannot stand to see it. One thing that immediately make me like kind of cringe a little bit is thirst trapping barbering. I can't stand that.
Right.
It's a lane for everybody, and people. Some people are willing to do whatever, go to whatever lengths they want to go to get a follow or get a like.
Yeah.
But some to me, it's just it's degrading to self.
Exactly.
For that.
I mean,
and once you start that lane, you gotta maintain it. Now that's what people are expecting to see. Expected content. So let me ask you, how long have you been barbering?
I have been cutting men's hair for 7 years. I got my master hair care license in South Carolina last year in April, so almost a year with the master hair care license. But to myself, thank you. To myself, I've been a barber for the whole 7, but I have both cosmetology and barbering, so it's nice because at my shop, I'm not a one-trick pony. I can do color, I can do waxing, all sorts of stuff, so I love it.
And you can serve wine because you got dual license, but that's that's just a little humble.
We actually serve liquor and beer at my work.
Where are you located?
Absolutely, with that dual license.
I'm in Columbia, South Carolina, and I work in a town called Chapin.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, I love it. My clients, especially my after work people, they're like, yes, a beer and a haircut. Let's go.
Better than that, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, do you work in a diverse shop, or is it primarily one demographic?
You mean like the kind of hair I cut, or the people I work with?
People you work with.
So we have 2 guys, and there's 3 of us girls, and we have 1 black girl that works at our shop as well, and the rest of us, we're white. So it is.
And the reason I asked that is because me and Dre was having a conversation today, and I think it's a great conversation, right?
Yeah.
We were trying to pinpoint and understand why is the approach to barbering so different amongst different groups of people, be it that we are trying to accomplish the same goal at the foundational level, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I asked you that question, I posed that question, is because I think that it's extremely valuable to your growth and to your foundation in barbering to not allow yourself to just be restricted to the stereotypical expectation of barbering, be it Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, Dominican, whatever the case may be, male, female, blah, 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 blah. To me, and over here at iCutMyWayOutPodcast, I can say for the both of us, absolutely, barber is barber, period. Yeah. Rather it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is or your color. Barber is barber. If you're a dope individual, you're a dope individual. The only people we don't respect are his assholes. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
And honestly, even if you're an asshole and you're a dope barber, I might tolerate you a little bit because I appreciate good talent. You know what I mean? So I always ask that question, and I guess the follow-up question to that is, can you or do you recognize the value of being in a shop that has different that's male female mix, that's Caucasian, African American, and whatever else mix, having those different diverse clientele groups that come into the shop? Can you understand and see the benefits of that?
So I do enjoy it. I don't like when people walk in and assume that the only black girl we have can cut black hair, because I actually do, and she does too, but I actually do, and people underestimate me for it, and I love doing it. But I do appreciate the diversity. I used to work in an all-female shop, and it's a lot of drama. It's a lot of drama. So it's a lot more laid back at this shop. Yeah, I love it. But mainly I just like the fact now, like in our area, it used to be like the stereotypical, little old man's haircut. And now it's like our area has grown so much. We have a lot of New Yorkers moving here, and I've gotten to cut African American, Latino, white people's hair. Like I get to do it all now, and I'm not bored.
Yeah. It definitely creates that challenge. Go ahead.
I think it also
No,
builds a skill, and probably with the just diversity of male and female, you're able to each lend a helping hand and help out in areas, other people's strengths may be your weaknesses and vice versa. I think that would probably be a good mix as well. One thing I wanted to ask, being that you started with cosmetology, what made you focus and really want to put your focus into the barbering side of the industry?
So when I was in hair school for cosmetology, I actually fell in love with men's cutting because my school actually had a whole men's cutting section, and it was just like my niche in school. Like it was the one thing that clicked, like more than color and everything else. And I just was like, okay, I feel like this is going to be my avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got out of school, I started working at Sport Clips, and I worked there for 4 years, worked my way up to being a corporate teacher for them. And I love teaching people. I love helping people. It's actually why I was like, you know what? After I leave here, I wanted to start an Instagram page for that. So, but I don't know. It's just it's different with a guy. It's like they appreciate it so much more,
We do, because our hair helps.
Y'all don't got makeup. I get it. Your beard is makeup.
Figure out how to say this to not offend nobody, right? I feel like men appreciate a haircut more than women, because a woman getting her hair done is kind of an expectation of not only society, but what women's expectations are of themselves, right? Yeah. It's kind of like, hair done, nails done, makeup together, even if it's not heavy, but you put on your presentable face, right? Okay. For a man, it's not uncommon for a man to go a month or so and be this hound dog, just rough. So when a man gets a fresh, professional, precise haircut,
yeah,
it's all. I tell me if I'm wrong. As soon as you see yourself in that mirror, your confidence go from wherever it is.
Oh yeah,
it changes. It's a game.
The roof.
Women.
It is.
We can get up and just kind of go, even if we don't have a clean haircut. Slam a hat, we put on a skull cap, whatever. We don't wear makeup. Mm-hmm. We don't do all the extra. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, for us, when we go, you can see that transformation. Because if you went for a haircut, in this 2-week time period, and transformation is something different. Sometimes women, they're always dolled up. So, the transition isn't always, or the transformation, isn't always.
And y'all naturally more beautiful than us. So y'all can, you know what I mean? Y'all don't have to do a lot.
It took a lot for me to get on here without my makeup. I was like, oh God, I'm already home. I took it off. I was like, you know what? Whatever. My followers can see me. It's fine.
So
I was like, you know what? I want to be on there. I got excited. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to the other room.
So I got another question that I'm really interested in, because something that stuck out to me that you said, be it that you're cutting in a diverse shop, you also have started to build up a diverse clientele yourself, right? Be it that the town you were in is growing and things are moving forward and all that, right?
Yeah.
I understand that a lot of our sister barbers, let me call it that. I'm putting that on the shirt somewhere.
I like
our
that.
Sister barbers, they struggle with, like you said, that immediate interest judgment. When people come in for the first time and they look and they see a sister, and then our brother barbers, and they say, well, you know what, I'm gonna go to one of these guys, because even if they don't do what I want them to do, I have more confidence that they're gonna do it. So I'm always interested in how sisters in the industry are pushing back against that and being able to continue to not only grow your skill set, because in barbering to grow, you got to cut, right? To grow your skill set, but also how sisters are pushing back into marketing themselves, where people are coming in and they're starting to catch on to the wave and catch traction and being comfortable sitting in those chairs. What steps are you taking, or what steps did you take to kind of solidify that for yourself?
So for me, when I first started at this barbershop, coming from a place where clients would just walk in and you didn't have to, I took a lot of my clients with me from the previous place. Like I used to have a 5-hour wait for me like every day. It was crazy.
5 hours?
Yeah. 5-hour wait time just to come get a haircut from me at the old job.
Hey,
and so I handed out my phone number. I was like, here's my number, here's my number, here's my number. Didn't tell them why until I finally left. But
5 hours, Ash, that's a humble brag. She chopping.
I'm not, I don't want to brag, but like my clients like
we
go somewhere where I can have an appointment.
We gonna brag for you. That means you're putting out pressure.
My client just wanted appointments, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of the 17-minute time. I'm tired of it. I wanna be an artist. It's art for me. It's not just cutting hair. Like this is my art. This is my passion. This is my happiness, and it's my career, but it's also my life. It's what it is, and I love it.
Absolutely.
So, but I didn't have a fully booked clientele, so I made business cards. I made Facebook posts. I had all my clients that did, and I'm like, hey, if you live here in Chapin, please refer a friend to me. I'm having to rebuild here. And my clients love to help. It makes them feel like they're a part of my world, which I'm so grateful for.
Absolutely.
And then I started the page, and the page really helped me show my work and get out there too. When I first started, I had never experienced a guy going, a woman in a barbershop? And there's literally one of my girls that I work with, she's cutting this guy's hair. And I walk in, he goes, y'all making it a salon up in here? Another woman? And I was like, okay, dude. And my first client walks in, skin fade, and he's watching me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not cutting your hair.
Yeah.
Just for being a dick.
That has to be an awesome position of power for somebody to judge you blindly, and then they got to watch you blaze a haircut, and then they kind of look.
I laughed because she turned it.
Oh, yeah. Purposely.
I love it. I was like, I don't know you, but I like
straight to you. Absolutely. It's mandatory.
I love it. I was like, yes, I love Angela. But just handing out business cards and starting the social media and the referrals, like, it bothers me that new barbers don't ask for help from your clients that you get. Ask for help. They love doing that stuff. Like, you got to believe in yourself. And I was watching a podcast last night that George was doing. I don't know if you know George on Instagram. I love the guy. He does like religious barbering.
I literally just used one of his sounds like a day ago.
I love him. And last night they were doing Own Your Energy. And I really needed that because I always feel like the oddball out because I stay about 2 to 3 weeks booked up at my barbershop, and I've got a few that aren't like that right now. And like you can kind of feel the judgment a little bit from the other people. And I'm always having to remind myself, be your own sparkle. It's okay.
Absolutely.
But it's just people are afraid to like just show off your skill set. And like I have new stuff I learn all the time. And I've got a few clients where I'm like, hey, I know you don't mind if I do what I want to do. Is it okay if I do something new I learned? And they're like, yeah, what's the worst you got to do? Fix it if I don't like it. And I was like, pretty much. And then they love it.
Your clients have that confidence that you can fix their haircut. They don't mind letting you try.
I have a quick question.
Oh, yeah.
So as you...
Yes. I got to grab my phone.
So as
I got him. He just won't quit one.
You know, continuing to grow and, you know, your followers and learning. And again, face to face, we want to thank you for following, viewing, tuning in to us every Wednesday. We greatly appreciate it. Have you put in your plans to start to attend shows and kind of get yourself out there and meet other barbers in the industry?
I want to. I just don't know how that goes with me working for a barbershop here that has 3 other businesses. If I'm allowed to do that independently, I'm sure my boss wouldn't care, but we haven't sat down and talked. I've actually never been to a show, and I really want to go. I just don't know what's local to me in South Carolina.
Let me ask you a question. Are you on booth rent or commission in the shop you're in?
Commission.
Okay, so yeah, I would say definitely sit down and talk to him. I wholeheartedly don't see where it will be a problem, but
he's supportive. He loves the fact that I have my own page.
Yeah. So the best person to get a clear understanding of how that would affect the shop at all, which it shouldn't. If anything, you would be bringing value back to the shop.
Yeah.
To go to a show and make some connections, new techniques and all those things.
Absolutely.
That's value that you're bringing back to the shop. I would say I'm along the same lines as Ash. I cannot recommend and encourage it enough.
I really want to. They look like a lot of fun.
It's
time to stop.
It's imperative.
I just want to get the confidence to compete.
Imperative. You put yourself, you know, and I think I can speak for both of us, Shine and myself. When you put yourself in that environment around so many people that are passionate, that love the craft like you do, when you start to see barbers at different levels that you can learn from and grab things, when you come back, it just puts that spark of energy that takes you to another level. Because sometimes
that flame reignited
in the same spot, it's stagnant. It's hard to grab that energy. And so when you're able to grab that energy, because you're seeing a whole weekend, everybody loving to do exactly what you love to do, and you see the industry more for what it is, because for that time, you know, that 2 or 3 days, you're surrounded by everyone just like you that loves what you love to do.
In a room full of people who have the same passion for the same industry that you do. And the thing about it is, I would even encourage your the owner of the shop that you're in. I would even encourage him from you through you to set it up where everyone goes. Take the whole shop, because
I'd love to do that.
It's only going to breed.
It's only going to benefit, right?
Yeah. The shop is going to be, because I'm telling you, even if let's just say right now, right, everybody in the shop is in a great place. Everybody is happy. Everybody is proud of where they work. Everybody is having great clientele. Everybody is at 100%, right? When you go to a show, what ends up happening is it extends that. And when you get back to the show, listen, and I preach this enough. When you go to a show, once that show is done and you get back in your vehicle and you headed back to your hotel or headed back home, you cannot wait to get back in the barbershop. Yeah. It's going to almost like he just said, it ignites a whole nother level of man, I got so many things that I want to try. I got so many things that I think I can reach, and so many different things that it's insane. I promise you, the first show I went to, I'm not even in a shop at this point. I'm in school. Yeah. When I got back to that school, it was like the first person come through this door, I swear to God, oh my God. I'm going to cut the shit out of their head. Whoever
That's when I learn something new. I just get excited to do it.
Absolutely.
The other day, I was doing a beard fade where I brought the skin down a lot lower and then faded it in. And I was like, this is going to help my guys that have so many freaking holes right here.
Exactly. And it's stuff like that. You learn little techniques that are practical to you, that you can immediately apply to what it is you're doing. Yeah. And aside from techniques, let's say you go to a barbershop and you don't buy anything because they're selling all kind of goodies and doodads. Let's say you don't buy anything. Yeah. Let's say you don't go to any educational classes because it's free education at all the shows too. Let's say you don't go to the educational classes. Absolute bare minimum, you're still gonna be ignited because you're gonna meet so many people who feel like you do about this.
Everybody that you're following, because what you start to realize that the barber industry is big, but it's small at the same time. When you start going to those places and you start seeing all these different people that you follow and you see on social media, you be like, man, you know, and so you're in that same room that just gives you that energy. It is imperative. It is a must, because in order for us to keep growing as an industry, we have to keep learning and learn from each other.
You have to keep learning.
Absolutely.
It drives me nuts when I go into my barbershops and I've got barbers that refuse to do certain haircuts or certain things, and I'm like, why do you choose to shoot yourself in the foot? Like,
some people see interest in growth though, man. Some people find a lot of comfort and complacency.
Yeah. Oh, George is watching now.
What's going on, George? Is that your husband or is that the guy that owns the shop?
No. George, the one we just talked about a little bit ago. They do the live stream. They were doing
Oh man, what's going on?
Yeah,
How
he's
you
watching.
doing, sir?
I love him.
What's up with you? Hold on, let me make sure.
I used to go on their podcast when him and Hove would do it. My husband's actually been on the podcast with me before. They even prayed for my husband with his condition and stuff. He's good people. I love that man. He keeps me going.
Shot forward, Barber Supply.
That's what's up.
He just joined.
I did. I'm waiting for the what's the name so I can get him on.
But yeah, no, I love this industry and I just really want to see it grow. And that's kind of why I started a social media page. And I'm really excited to watch it grow. I've been excited. I've been taking Tank's advice on posting 3 times a day as much as I can. I did get that sinus infection that everybody got though.
I did too.
It was pollen. So.
My God, what's
How you doing,
on, man?
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Mr. Fort Worth himself. We're gonna call you Mr. Fort Worth.
Okay, I'll take it.
Fort Worth himself. How you been doing, brother?
Good, been doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you.
Hey.
I'm Shadow Barber. That's Ashton Barber, and we also have Barbie Pink Barber.
Awesome. Good to
All my
meet you guys.
Nice.
That's why.
Absolutely. So, man, let's just jump on into this thing, man.
Okay.
Barbie Pink, do you mind falling back down so we can get him on? We need to give this man the stage because he has so much that we want to
Thank
ask.
you for jumping on.
No problem.
We appreciate it so much.
See you later. Have a
Bye,
good one.
guys.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
So, man, what's it like being the mayor of the biggest state and city ever?
Man.
What's it like?
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. We're just a small family business, trying to do what we can. And I'm not gonna lie, we don't have a clue what we're doing, man.
Right,
We're just, treat.
Absolutely, man.
The bottom line is treat people right, and everything will kind of fall into place. That's our belief. So, but I mean, I can't tell you we had a plan, or we just like everyone else that works for themselves. We just don't quit, right? So,
so I don't mean to cut you off. So I was going through your page today, and I'm always super interested. Being a barber is one thing, but I'm also a clipper junkie. I just love supplies. And when you go into a supply store, it's just like a kid in a candy store. What's the history behind it? Are you a barber by trade? Like how did that start for you guys?
Absolutely. So I'm a barber. Our son's a barber. We own a couple of shops here in Fort Worth. This is our 7th year, I believe. 7th year. We franchised our barber shops about 2 years ago. Actually, right after the COVID closing. So I don't know what state you guys are in, but we were shut down for 6 weeks. We had it pretty light around here. But the day that we got shut down, what's that?
6 weeks was light.
Well,
I
think some other states, were shut down for like months.
Yeah, we were down for about 3 months.
Yeah. So 6 weeks we were back at it. They opened the state back up, and
6 hours was too much for me. I missed my chairman. Now I'm sorry.
Exactly. So our franchise location was supposed to open the day they shut everything down. So they've been open for about 2.5 years now, I guess. And then during that time, my wife was like, trying to get our stuff for our shops, the soaps, all the changes they were making us do. And the way this whole barber supply thing started was there was a local lady that's been here for 30 years, and she had announced her retirement before COVID. And once COVID hit, it just kind of sped up her retirement. And she had already told us, like, hey, I'm not getting any of the new stuff. I'm just selling what we got. So as my wife started to find all the stuff for our own shops, obviously there's a hole in the market now. We were really spoiled by having her here. And I was like, you know what, if nobody tries this or nobody buys her business, we're just going to give it a shot. And that's what we did.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, wow. So it was kind of, absolutely, congratulations on that. So it was kind of somebody that you was already familiar with, and who pretty much kind of can give you an understanding of how to maintain it going into it, because the supply game, I'm assuming, is a lot different from the barbering game, right?
Man, like I said, the way we look at it is, we're in the customer service business. We don't look at it as selling machines and stuff.
Correct.
And because of that, I feel like it's all the same, whether you're the barber or the owner or the barbershop owner or in the supply business, we're just taking care of people. We could sell cupcakes, and as long as you're taking care of people, you're going to be busy, At least that's the way.
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Listen, absolutely. So something that I noticed, man, it was unique. I had never seen it before. I think as a barber, right? Well, as barbers, all of us are barbers on this podcast right now. Mm-hmm. We see a lot of people who are either selling supplies or work for a supply chain, or they have a supplier that they're representing. And we see a lot of people, especially now. I think the new trend that I've been seeing in the supply game is a lot of people are starting to combo things, right?
Yeah.
Like you might get a trimmer and a clipper.
Yeah.
I've never seen nobody do what you do. Never. I went on and I've watched some of your videos, and it's like you buy a trimmer. Listen to what I'm saying first. You buy a trimmer, and you're going to get a pair of clippers for free.
So, so here's the deal with that. We are authorized distributors with all the major companies except Oster. And so because of that, they extend certain deals to us as authorized distributors. And when they do that, we just pass it along. So that particular item, they were giving away a free clipper. And so we just passed it along and kept it moving, So that's kind of the beauty or the advantage of being an authorized distributor.
Absolutely.
You get those special deals. When you start, and this is not to knock anyone, but the people that aren't authorized, they got to buy it from a middleman, and so their price has to stay a little higher, or sometimes they'll undercut and they'll make like $20 on something, and they're really just spinning their wheels. It's kind of like doing cuts for $15. I mean, yeah, you could do that all day long, but you're gonna wear yourself out and burn yourself out,
A lot.
So because we're authorized, we're able to get those deals, and whenever they come along, we just pass them along and just
so let me ask
people,
I love that.
Sorry, Shaq. So, you speed up, go through this pandemic, right? And then you get into it. How have you guys been able to cut to the chase so fast and bridge the gap by being connected directly with these companies and not being a middleman? How have you guys accomplished that in that amount of time?
Sure. So my wife she doesn't take no for an answer. That's the truth right there. Because everyone told us no, right? I mean, Wall told us no, Babas told us no, and we're asking during the pandemic, and so they're like, hey, look, Babas is for sure. They're like, hey, look, even if we could sign you up, even if we could approve you, we have no product to give you. There's just the supply chain issues are crazy right now.
Right.
And we were like, hey, we don't care. Just sign it. Just make us official. Like, let's just do something so that when the product does come back in, we'll be ready to go. And like I said, she just doesn't quit. So they just basically got tired of her calling. That's what they did, but that's one thing. The other thing is, like I said, we just hit it at the right time. There was someone that was here that was retiring. There's a huge market here. So they needed someone. I say they needed. I mean, our area really needed someone to step up. So Wall knew there was going to be a hole in the market. Babas knew there was going to be a hole in the market. It really just came down to the timing and persistence.
God is a wonderful God.
Wow. So
absolutely,
God is a wonderful God, and God is a wonderful God who makes a strong, able woman, boy.
Yeah.
They always, you look behind any successful man, there is a strong woman.
Yeah. And if you look at the paperwork, she's the owner. Like we're just the workers. So she gets a little nervous on the camera, so she doesn't do that much, but that's where we feel like we could kind of excel, and then but she makes everything go around here. So she's the reason we have things in stock, and she's the reason why we get new stuff all the time, and all that good stuff.
I love what the person behind. Because I know you guys do a lot of you get a lot of bigger name influence barbers in the industry to come out and do like look and listens and teach classes. Was that a collective idea between you guys?
So that kind of goes back to my first career. I started off really young at this. I was a photographer. I started off really young at this studio here locally, and I mean, I'm talking. I think I was like 20 when I started, and back then they didn't hire 20-year-olds. I mean, it was just kind of rare. And they instilled continuing education. They would send us to seminars, and there's probably 10 of us, and they would send us all across the country. Then we'd all come back and meet and kind of share what we learned. So with that being instilled in me, when I opened the barbershop, I really felt like education was important, the continuing the education. And so the first few times we actually, took the barbers to seminars and that kind of thing. As we grew, it just made more sense to bring a speaker in. As we grew to 2 locations, now there's 15, 16 of us or something. Instead of paying for 16 hotel rooms or whatever, let me just bring a speaker in. So we had already done that, had been doing that with the shops. We kind of kept it to just our shops because, at that time we didn't want to really like educate the competition.
Makes sense.
As greedy as that sounds or whatever. But we really wanted to grow our barbers, and so when the supply shop came along, that was like, that was as soon as Toom signed us up, they were the first one. I was like, okay, let's see who we can get for education. And at the time, I wasn't big into YouTube, and not that I'm big into it now, but I'm like, okay, well, the only guy I know is Chris Basio, and even that I didn't even know who he was. I just know everybody's talked about him. And they're like, no, slow down. Like you can't, like, hold up. We got this guy, Sean. And I said, I don't even care. Just get him over here. Let's do it, And Sean, which is Sean Cuts hair, everybody knows now. Yeah. So it turned out, I didn't know this at the time, but this was his first class for Toom. It was our kind of announcement that we're opening a supply. And that's how that started. And so we already knew that when we looked for our space, we were looking for larger areas because we knew we were going to have classes. At first, we just thought we were going to have a classroom in the back, 15 people at a time, that kind of thing. We hooked up with Papito Bless Hands, and he's like, hey, let's do a class here like in 3 weeks. And I was like, whatever, man, let's do it. And it turns out like 80 people showed up, just out of nowhere.
The first class.
The first class. Yeah, the first class at our retail space. When Sean came out from Toom, we actually did it at our barbershop. Right. But when we opened the retail space, that was the first class. And then it must have been 3 weeks later, he's like, hey, you're not going to believe who I'm cutting right now. And I still didn't know anyone that well at the time. And he's cutting Los Cut It, and Los is like, hey, man, I'm hearing about the supply shop you guys got. I need to come down and see it. Turns out Los's family lives here, real close to us. Okay. And so he visits all the time, and he's like, you know what? Let's do a class there on Tuesday. This was Sunday night when we were talking. So let's do a class here on Tuesday. And I was like, all right, man, whatever. He said, let's just make it free. Do it like 10 a.m. And he said, I'll make a flyer tonight. He posted a flyer. Like 112 people showed up on a Tuesday morning. And then that night is when we started getting the phone calls like, man, I want to do a class here. And then it just exploded. Yeah. So
let me say this. And I'm on.
I am Caesar. What's going on, man?
I'm on vacation with the wife. So after I finish this show, I'm gonna have to release it over to you full time for the night. One, I want to say thank you for getting on, man. It's a pleasure for me. This is so inspiring. Every episode, everybody we bring on inspires us, right? But we were just talking about something. We were talking about the inspiration to keep going and what is it about the passion of cutting hair. And I mentioned we don't have a ceiling, right? So to have you on here and for you to be a barber and God blesses you to fall right in line with something that's so near and dear with the industry. Without the machines, we can't do what we do. I cut my way out. That's what this is about, right? So you took that and you created something that can be a legacy and create generational wealth and can create a legacy for not only you, your family, but generations to go. Because cutting hair isn't going anywhere. So I'm truly, truly inspired. Yeah. And again, you're another guy that done it in the midst of a pandemic. that just says so much about you, your family, your wife, but also the industry as a whole, man. That's, man, man,
Yeah, thank
kudos to
you.
y'all, man. And even though I got to jump off, like I said, I'm on vacation with the wife. We would love at some point in time to have you back on again. Much love, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I just started following you because I just heard, but you got a follower and you have a supporter, and you got somebody gonna spend some bread with you too, bro. Yes, yes.
Appreciate it. If you're at CT, if you're at CT, come
we will
stop
be
and see
there.
what's up.
Matter of fact,
We
we'll
will
be
be.
there with the cameras and
Yeah,
everything. We will be there. I'm Osh.
nice.
Of course, that's Shy. But we're definitely gonna tap in, man. And I'm gonna go back and
Sounds
once we
good.
record the Shy,
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna definitely watch this one. Shy, also my brother. I
Nice.
appreciate you as always, pushing it forward, knowing I'm on vacation, still doing the thing, bro. I can't thank you enough. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Y'all enjoy y'all stuff out there, man.
Tomorrow
Make sure you eat some
I'm
more
going beignet
beignets for me,
crazy.
man.
Tomorrow the last day. I'm going beignet crazy. All right, man. Y'all have a good night. All right. Appreciate it. Yes,
You
sir.
too.
So I think it's awesome that you guys, it seems like what your plans were, things just kind of started to align themselves, be it the frequency that Los Cut it was in conjunction to his family and how that was in relation to how close it was to you guys. Sean cut hair, that was being his first video, and now we all know how enormous Sean is as far as his influence in the barbering, and all of it to start to kind of snowball into this thing, like you said, where now you don't have to reach out. Guys are reaching out to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're reaching out. They want to be a part of what you've grown. I think that's the ultimate compliment or actually kind of nod of
Sure.
understanding and acknowledgement that something that you guys created has grown.
Yeah.
And this thing,
Absolutely.
you don't have to do the alcohol and the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of the ground
For sure.
is done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now people are seeing it and they're like, man, I want to be I want to align myself with that. So I'm curious to speaking more about that, because you guys have actually built up so much headway and got them feet meeting the ground so much that you're actually in the process of expanding and franchising again, correct?
That's right. That's correct. Yeah. So, we had that experience already from the barbershops. I would tell anyone that listen, like, hey, this is life changing. You put this thing in the right location. This is going to get you out of the chairs, get you out behind the chair for sure. But like our entire family works together. This is completely life changing, or could be, if it's done correctly. So, so anyone that would listen, I'm like, hey, this is what it takes. This is what it costs. This is what you need to look for, and let's get to it. So we just expanded into Amarillo. They just opened about 3 weeks ago.
I saw
and then we are actually opening our own second location about 30 minutes north of Dallas here in about a month. Just the way we did it, I mean, people are so important, right? And when you get the right people, you don't want to let go of them, and you can't keep anyone forever, right? I mean, like, there's just, especially the strong ones, they'll find a time when it's time for them to go and do their own thing. But we started really thinking, and instead of franchising this other location, why don't we build it and then build in a work to owner plan? So the guy that opens it and manages it, after a few years, he'll flip it and become the owner. And then that way, he can make as much money as he possibly could on his own, and it still be a rock solid, FWBS family,
Absolutely. And it still allows them to have that room to be the leader that they were destined to be. Absolutely.
For sure. So, we really try to get creative on things like that. Like, what's it going to take, and especially for the right people, what's it going to take to make this happen? Can we afford it? Can we make it happen? If so, let's just grow it and get bigger, and while they're still reaping, most of the benefit, especially after they become owners, and it's all on them, but just really trying to hang on to people, but you got to give them something,
Now,
you can't just
with doing something like that, I would assume that the vetting process is kind of, I would guess, it's organically done through their time period of being employed with the original business, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we want to work with them side by side. This gentleman we're talking about right now, he's been there. I don't even know what day it is. So I know he's been there like 6 months or so. But it reminds me a lot of myself, like, hey, we're just going to do whatever it takes to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm very respectful when it comes to people's time. I don't like calling people in on the day off, and I don't like staying late and those kind of things. So, but I know that if something needs to get done, it's going to get done.
Right.
And, man, you just don't find people like that all the time, and
especially nowadays,
yes.
It's becoming few and far in between, man.
Yeah.
Few and far. So let's stick there, because you guys are still owning and operating the barbershop as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
With owning and operating the barbershop, going through the process with that's another vetting process that is extraneous.
Yes.
Very extraneous. Are you guys, because I've only been to Texas once, right?
Okay.
And that one time I was there, I immediately understood and recognized how enormous the barbering scene is in Texas. It's huge.
Huge. Yeah.
It can't go understated, because you can't understate it. It's enormous.
That's right.
With that being a process, I would assume that you guys are dealing with a much wider range of personalities and characteristic traits, learned behaviors that have a lot of things that have to be addressed, tweaked, changed,
yes,
so on and so forth. How that be it that you are the guy, you and your wife are the man and woman at the top of it. Do you have a system in place for you guys to do the vetting on both fronts, or is it kind of one of those things that's landing in your lap?
So with the barbershops here recently, well, I stopped cutting technically about a year ago. Just couldn't do both. Couldn't do the supply and cut at the same time. I couldn't really focus on one that well when I was doing both. So I pulled myself out. We put some managers in place. Our son is now basically technically, not technically, but essentially the owner. So I pulled myself out completely from the barbershop. So so he manages, anything the managers need, he's going to take care of. Obviously the barbers can still reach out or whatever. But when you talk about vetting, we have a lot of systems in place. I'd much rather get someone at a school that we can help mold and help grow than have to deal with the bad habits that they learned at, 6 other shops or whatever. So now my motto has always been, let's grow and go. Like, we don't anticipate barbers to hang around more than a year. I want them to build themselves up and build their clientele up. And if it's time for you to move on and get your own suite, that's just what time it is, There's no hard feelings. That's just a part of the business. That's what we did. That's how this all started. That's expected. Fortunately, we have a lot that have been around for 4 or 5 years. And I think a lot of it has to do with our systems. There's systems in place. Things, they know what to expect. They know what they're getting. There's no surprises, and it just runs like a machine now. So, but when it comes to new barbers, all the managers can take care of that themselves now. I don't want to be the one hiring and firing. I want to empower the managers to be able to do that, because they're the ones that are there every day, checking the vibe, and, they know what, they see it, they're on the front lines. So,
and that's the unique things about a barbershop. It's hard to manage it from the outside. Yeah. You almost have to be there to kind of get a full understanding of not necessarily the decisions that people make, but the reasons behind them.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it sounds like just from what I gather from you, just listening to you and talking to you now, and of course, one thing I wanted to do is definitely tip my hat, because when I watch your videos, even when you're talking about clippers versus listening to you now, it's consistent. I don't feel like that's pretend. I feel like that's genuine. Right?
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty genuine.
Yeah.
And that's the base level, right? You got to be genuine.
Absolutely.
At least that's the way I feel. I've talked to all kinds of people online, and once I get the hint that they're just doing it for likes, or just doing it for, we're out. We're not even interested.
As you should be, because that's wasting time. And the first thing you're not about wasting your time. We're not staying. No.
So
it's time to go.
Yeah. So yeah, and as you get older, you realize there's no time, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Every minute that I'm investing in something, it has to be something productive in my
Yep.
life. I do not subscribe to counterproductivity. It's a waste of time. But
Yep.
that comes across, though. When I'm talking to you, that genuineness comes across. And to me, it sounds like that in conjunction with the grow and go will be extremely difficult for you, because I know a lot of guys that come into that barbershop and they get that feel for that, the guys who had the pleasure of working with you a year ago before you removed yourself from the barbershop. And I'm sure your son has a lot of those same characteristics because he learned it from you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
How to manage himself in that barbering world by watching his father manage himself and others in that barbering world.
Yeah.
I believe it'll be difficult, man, to remove yourself from somewhere that feels like home. You know, you got systems, like you said, you got a fair, grounded understanding of how things work. Once you've been around somebody, even within a year, right? That 12-month period, you can become as much a part of those systems and environment as the people who create them. Because, you know, we both know in order for systems like that to work, barbers have to be willing to hold not only themselves accountable, but the brothers and sisters next to them accountable. How are you dealing with that, man? Because are you kind of like, all right, now it's time for you to, you know, it's 3 years, it's time to go.
So, you know, I really tried. I really tried to, when I started noticing complacency, you know, hey, like, what's going on? You know, do you need a break? You know, is that what, you know, or is this something else? You know, do you not like being here anymore? You know, once I get a feel that, you know, and I made this mistake early on. I kind of hung on to people too long, you know, in the very beginning. But once I started to get a feel like they're just not enjoying it, they don't do us any good, right? They don't do anyone any good. They don't do themselves any good. They don't do the customers any good, you know, that kind of thing. So I really try to get on there real fast as, okay, what's the issue? What is it, something we're doing? Is it something on the personal end? And if it's something on the personal end, hey, let's take some time. Let's take some time and regroup, you know? Or, you know, if you're getting burned out, let's reduce your schedule. Let's get you down to 2 or 3 days or whatever you need to make happen. Let's do that first, you know? And then, but sometimes, you know, sometimes people are just waiting for the opportunity, right? So if I start the conversation that way and they're like, you know, actually I've been thinking about going on my own. Hey, absolutely. Let's get, what time frame are you thinking about? You know, like, I don't want to hold anyone. I don't want to have to convince anyone to stay. You know, since I've been out, I don't have to do that anymore. But that was my mindset when I was in there. Like, you know, if you don't want to be here, let's see where you want to be, you know, and let's help get you there. So
it sounds like you have a background in at least managerial skills. Just from listening to you, have you done any managerial work prior to this?
Not at all. I was a professional photographer for like 20 years. I worked with you know, some studios early on. Worked for another sole proprietor by himself early on, but I went out on my own like at 23, and it was just on my own at 20. I mean, ever since then. So you know, 40, 45, 46. I might be 47 this year, man. I'm sorry. So no, I think you know, it's when you run your own business and own your own business, particularly in the photography side, there was no one else to blame. Like, it all falls on you, right?
Absolutely.
You can't say, "Oh, it's my manager's fault." No, this is it. Everything stops here. Yeah. So I just, you know, learned the hard way. You need to make mistakes, and we still make mistakes, you know. But it's about how you recoup from those mistakes, you know, or how you fix things, you know, when issues arise. So, but no, it's just, I think it's just about.
You're a productive student of life, man. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man. That sounds real.
Oh man, to be able, like you said, to handle things and approach things from a stern, but also genuinely caring perspective, because that's what that sounds to me. That sounds like I care about you beyond barbering. I care about you beyond.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we have to maintain a work-personal balance.
Yeah.
So to not allow you to slip off into complacency, because as we both know, that's counterproductive to you as well as a barber. That can from the floor of your life.
Yeah.
Instead, when you do that, I'd rather show you my vulnerable side and talk to you.
Yeah.
What you do to me, just again, listening, that sounds like somebody that cares, man.
Yeah.
It comes across like you have some prior managerial business owner training, but then when you tell me, I was a photographer for X amount of years and that shape, that's a student of life, man. That means You didn't fail and bumped your
Absolutely.
head just like you have a lot of times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, this is how that affected me. I'm seeing it in somebody else, even if it's not the same situation, the characteristics are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go ahead and lend a hand. And not enough can be, I don't think enough is said in the barbering industry on the importance of having a shop owner, manager, leader, mentor that looks at you beyond what you can do for them or what you're doing for the business. I think that is imperative in this industry, and it's not discussed enough. So this is me giving you my flowers. I mean,
Hey, man, appreciate it.
in that sense.
Appreciate it.
That's dope. So let me ask you, what do you guys have planned? Because it seems like you guys are almost entering into the scope of it might be time to start the first Fort Worth Barber Supply trade show. It sounds like it.
So, you know, we tossed that idea around last year because we're essentially bringing all these speakers in. We're essentially having a seminar, you know, once or twice a month last year, right? And we've always felt, even before all this, when I was just a barber and the shows would come around, we just kind of felt that they weren't done as professionally, or, you know, there was something missing, you know. I wasn't interested in being at the club at midnight, you know, at a barber battle, you know, that kind of stuff. So it just never really felt like it was done well. And as we started meeting everyone and kind of getting the contacts, we're like, okay, this might work up here. But then BarberCon moved from Austin to Dallas last year, and I don't know if we could have done any better. And when something's already going well, like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, man.
Absolutely.
You're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it in that level, and man, it was perfect. You know, couldn't ask for anything better. We'll just let barbershop, you know, BarberCon come in every year and do it really well. So
see, I still haven't been to BarberCon yet. Actually, this will be my first year going to CT.
Okay.
I've been involved in the barbering industry for a collective of 4 years total.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff. All this is I'm still real green. I still got the real big eyes when I see. I'm excited. I still lean heavily into that excitement of everything being so new. But a lot like yourself, I see a lot of things that's mishandled in the industry. I see a lot of things that's neglected, avoided. A lot of conversations that people aren't comfortable enough having amongst their peers, which I feel like conversations like this have to exist because it opens the door for those more uncomfortable, direct, more impactful conversations to happen, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that question about, you know, where you guys are going, because it seems like you're growing at such a rapid pace with what you're doing, and it's becoming so evident that it's meant to be. It's not a matter of you can choose to do it, but I think a lot like how you have so many people reaching out to be a part of what you got going on, it probably won't be long before someone like BarberCon or CT or one of these expos reach out and say, hey, we want to partner with you. Yeah. And like, because you bring a lot to the table, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it, and thank you for that. I don't, we don't have a clue. Like I said, we really don't know what we're doing, man. We just, we're just trying to sell machines and take care of people and keep it simple. And I think that's been the formula, but because like you said, it's genuine. But if that comes around, we're all ears, but we have no clue how that's gonna work.
Well, your winging it looks like some serious strategic move.
Appreciate it.
That's dope, man. I see a video. It's a video that's been going viral of a guy. It's a voice where he's saying, man, people keep asking me what I'm doing. I don't know, man. I'm a little baby bird. I'm just winging.
Yeah. It's
hard to believe that, but I think, again, that speaks to you being a student, a productive student of life.
Yeah, I think, people look at it now and they're like, oh, here's the formula. Like, bring these classes in.
Absolutely.
And that had nothing to do with it. That was done out of us being like, we want to grow the culture. We want to grow the industry here locally. There was a purpose there. So when these other companies try to do it and there's like, it doesn't have the same feeling, right? I mean, it's not for the same reasons. And it shows. So, but that just happened accidentally, and we just kept it moving. But education has always been big for us, so. What's up, Drake?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, Edward?
Good.
I just want to mention, man, a few things, man. So the first time that I went, I've only been to Fort Worth Barber Supply once, and it was to see Marv, right? It's Marvy Marv, right? So
Yep.
Fort Worth is about 7.5 hours away from us, and that was the first time that Marv came to Texas. So I was like, he's in Texas. I don't care where he's at. I'm gonna go. So I gotta say, man, first of all, like at that moment, me and Edward, we didn't know each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I reached out to him while I was over there because I want to know where it was a good spot to eat, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And I was just like, it was so cool, like the way he just like he didn't know me, but he's telling me where to go, where, you know what I'm saying, all the spots. He told me about Gus's chicken. And man, when I say it was like some of the best fried chicken, it was off the chain. I can't wait to go back just to get some of that Gus chicken. But it just made me feel like, man, like I get excited so quickly about being in the industry because of like the relationships, you know what I'm saying? And so that was cool, like to be able to talk to you and you let me know where to go and this and that. So then when I actually went to your barber supply place, I was blown away by just like, okay, so you had so this is for you, and anybody who hasn't been to Fort Worth Barber Supply.
I'm all in.
Yeah. So when you walk, I mean, first of all, it's huge, right? So, and then when I pulled up, they've done such a good job already of you know, the FWBS. He always has it on the shirt, like you see right there.
Mm-hmm.
That the logo, when I pulled up, the logo actually was like, boom, like you're here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're here now. You know what I mean? Like you see it everywhere on social media and stuff like that. And then when I actually pulled up, it actually felt like, man, here it is. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool in itself. And then I'll go inside and everybody's waiting on Marv, you know, and everything's like, one thing about Edward and Forward Barber Supply, I've noticed that everything is just like done the right way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's like, there's no winging it. There's no people running around like, what to do next? So everything was like, it was a line outside to get in. They were checking everybody on the checklist. You go in, everything just looks so neat. You know, on the right side, you got, we call it like a clipper bar, right?
Yep.
So you got a clipper bar.
Wait, don't. What? Say that again.
A clipper bar. So it's like a bar, like it looks like a bar setup, and it's like all wood, right? If I remember correctly.
That's right.
And then he got all the clippers, all different types of clippers, so you could like, you know, us barbers, we gotta get our hands on some clippers. You know what I'm saying?
Let me find out, y'all. This whole thing has been a bit to get me to move to Fort Worth. I think that's what it is.
So let me tell you a little bit about that real quick. You know, no one was doing that here, right? I mean, at the old supply store we used to go to, they would literally open the box and sit there with you. Like they didn't want you touching it hardly, and they didn't want you messing around with it. And then there's some other supply stores here that are beauty supply stores. They won't even let you hold the clipper. They take it to the register for you.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what we didn't want to create. We didn't want to create where we didn't want to create that feeling of people like, oh man, you know, you don't even trust me to walk to the register.
Yeah.
You know, that was issue number one. Two, as barbers, we know we have to turn these machines on. You know, I can't tell you how many times I went down, I bought some stuff, took it back to the shop, and I'm like, man, this is trash, or this is not what I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. So I can't take credit for that. You know, we saw it from Atlanta Barber Supply, and I don't know if they did it to the way we did it, but they had a really good system over there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's what we got. You know, we got to do that over here. My wife's like, check this out. We got to do it. We did it. And now I think it's kind of standard. I think everyone's kind of doing it. It just makes sense. I mean, barbers need to hold these machines, you know? Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny. We'll get like reps from different clipper companies coming around, and they'll take pictures at all the supply stores and show them to us. And some people will do it, but they'll have chains on the clippers. You know, like, I'm like, man, that's so messed up. You know,
you want to be nice, but we still got our eye on you.
You know,
hey, no finger dancing in here.
They'll see pictures of our classes, and the first thing they think of is like, how do you know nothing gets stolen? Like, what, you know, that's like their main concern. You know, where that's just not how we think about it. You know, we're all just people. Like, just treat us. You know, I want to treat you the way I expect to be treated, and that's base number one right there. So, but anyway, I don't want to take full credit for that clipper. I mean, that's where we got it from.
Yeah.
We're definitely the first in Texas to do it. And then now I think it's kind of standard now, which is great. I think everyone needs it. So,
but you know
Yeah,
that's
and I'm,
like
and I'm,
that
and
example.
go ahead. My bad.
That's another example of you being a great student of life, being able to observe things, see what they are, see how they make you feel as a barber, as a human being, then as a barber, then as a business owner, then as a potential consumer.
Exactly.
And be like, okay, that's something that I don't want to mimic that. I don't want to recreate that emotion for anybody else, because I think we all can identify on how unbarber friendly Sally's feels when you go into it. Doesn't feel like it's for us. They still barber things, but it's almost like they kind of tuck us away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, bro.
No, you good. And I mean, even the barber supply store here, like, I don't want to name the name or nothing like that, but they do the same thing. And I understand, like, they got a lot of people stealing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, they be watching you. Can I help you? Can I help you? Every it seems like every aisle has somebody watching you. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. But like your supply store is like, it's like big, so it's like almost like, I don't know. I guess the way you have everything set up is cool. I've seen it. I didn't, when I went, you didn't have it set up like that. You had it with the chairs and everything.
With the
but
the class.
yeah. So what I did like about it, bro, like Marv is in the back. You know what I'm saying? So we pull up, everybody's sitting down. It's about to get ready to start. So so they have the stage set up. You know what I'm saying? A nice stage, and then you got the DJ. You got a DJ, and then you got this huge screen and projector. It was a projector, right?
Yep.
It was just, I was just blown away by, like, to me, I was just looking around and I was telling myself, like, bro, this is what I like. In a way, it's not, I was not expecting it, but at the same time, I'm like, if Marv is gonna do something, this is what it should look like. You know, so this is the type of venue it should be at.
Right.
Something like this. So DJ playing music, everybody's excited, you know what I'm saying? The Edward gets on stage and he's like, Marv is here, y'all. Here to see Marv. He got his family with him. I think that was the first time that his family came with him to any type of seminar. And he was like, all right, well, I mean, there's nothing else to say, you know what I'm saying? Let's bring out Marv. And it was so cool because, like, we're all sitting this way and the stage is up there and Marv's coming from the back, from the side. And he got these, if I remember correctly, like this big wooden doors that slide, right?
Yep.
So you got these big wooden doors that slide and then just open up and just Marv comes out, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool because, like, me and Marv talking and I see him all the time on social media and stuff like that. And then to actually see him, it's like, I was a little starstruck. I'm not gonna lie, but just the way he came out, everybody recording him, it hit me so crazy, bro. It's like, to me, it's like, man, like that was the moment that I'm like, bro, this is more than just barbering, bro.
Absolutely.
This is like you could do different things with this, bro. And I was so inspired that day, bro. Me and my brother.
Appreciate it.
And then when I came back, you know what I'm saying, it's like you just see things differently, you know, and that stuck with me so much, right? And then when you guys went to TX Barber Expo, and I was like, remember I asked, I was like, hey, I'm going too. If you guys need any help with the booth, let me know. And then I remember your exact words, bro. You said, hey, I'm gonna take you up on that offer, like that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize how much work there was in setting up the type of booth that they were setting up. But he had the main, what was it, like the main booth or something? It was
like that they put us in the front. We were there representing level 3. So it was all just level 3 stuff. I
use their gloves, man. They got a good product.
Yes, they do.
They got a pretty good product.
So I told myself, so that when he said, let's do this, like I'm gonna bring you on. So to me in my head, I'm like, yo, this is what relationships is all about. You know, you build, you like a lot of bars. It's so easy to just say, like, hey man, whenever you need, well, I got you, or this and that. It's so easy to say that. We say that all the time. I feel like on social media. But when you actually say something and then they say, you know, let's I'm gonna need your help. And then you go and it's like, this is where you could build your name. Like, I want people to, like, when I went in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna do what I always do, that I know I do, which is like, I work my butt off, you know what I'm saying? And when we went, that's all I said. I was like, man, I don't care about nothing else. I'm gonna work my butt off, not just for the relationship part, but just because you gotta have pride in your work ethic, you know what I'm saying? So it was a fun experience, bro. Like, setting up and being in the front, like right there, baby. Because I've been to TX Barber Expo before, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? it was cool, man. So
appreciate it. Thanks for the
part
help.
of, and
Yeah,
part of that too is also
Mhm.
I think when you see the work ethic that he puts behind his product and his brand, I think that incentivizes anybody that aligns themselves with that to come in with that same effort, that same go get it. Like, you know, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna put my best foot forward because what he represents is putting his best foot forward. You know what you understand?
yeah,
You can't come in haphazardly or half-assing when he's putting everything that you've said, from describing the inside of the supply store to the experience of the look and listen to the magnitude of the station that he got at the expo. Everything was done with excellence in mind. So when you come in, if someone does take you up on your offers of help into that fold, yeah, I'm coming with my shirt tucked in. I'm coming with my gloves on. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to be the best representation or extension of representation of what you're already representing with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to be an extension to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew, and after seeing everything at his spot, I knew what it was going to be about. I knew that they wasn't going to play around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was fun, man. I had a great time, and it was a dope experience. But I did want to ask you a question, Edward. I was going to ask you. But I was listening to you guys while I was doing my cut, so I learned a lot. I learned a lot about because I had a lot of questions too about how you started and stuff like that. So I didn't know that. I didn't even know you were a barber. To be honest, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But so you said Sean Cut's hair was the first. What he was? You said you brought him to a barbershop, right?
Yeah. So when we were basically announcing that we're starting Forward Barber Supply, that was kind of like the coming out party almost. You know, it was his class. We had a small table in the back of our barbershop. And we only had it for that day. It wasn't like we were trying to sell supplies out of the barbershop. We definitely wanted to keep it separate. But that was like, hey, Forward Barber Supplies bring in, 245 Sean Cut's hair, and here we go. So that and later we found out that was his first class. And so we just have a close connection, with Sean because of that. We've seen each other grow, and of course he's just, mega stardom now, we're just lucky that he returns our calls, so very cool.
Yeah, I seen him in Las Vegas last
weeks ago.
weekend. Yeah, a couple weeks ago he was there. So then who was the first one that you had at your supply store?
It was,
at your store?
Papito Blessed Hands.
Oh, okay, that's right. You had said that. Okay, so then how did it, like, from Papito Blessed Hands to the time you did Marv's? Was Marv's the first one that you had it set up like that with the DJ and the screen?
We had the DJ from Papito. We had the DJ from day one from Papito's class.
And the big screen too.
Yeah, so we had the big screen. So I think Basio was the last one we had the big screen on, and I think he came down in December, and we started in August. So the first class was I think the first class was September, October-ish, and then November maybe in Los, and then I think December was Basio. After Basio's class, we got rid of the big screen and just put two 85-inch TVs up.
Gotcha.
And now everyone can just hook up to the Apple TV and run off of that. But because that big screen was kind of hard to finagle and kind of get in the right spot all the time.
So what's the most that you like had attend your
so I think Los's class had 112.
114. I was listening. 114.
Yeah, and then Basio we maxed it out at 100. And of course, I mean, he sold all 100 tickets. And then after that, we're like, hey, this is getting a little tight. Like, maybe we should knock it down to about 80, as the max.
That's crazy. That is.
And then when Basio came back and he did the financial one, the really big one, he was only selling tickets for like $10 for the second time.
How
and
fast did that sell out?
He sold 320 something tickets.
What?
So we had to move it from our shop to a theater, and it was just like a last minute thing. Like, hey, you got something available this time, and they said, yeah, we booked it, and so it took it to a theater. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, the DJ's always there. I'm real big about ambiance and the way things look, and I rather let someone do it that knows what they're doing, because I'm the last person you want trying to play music and do the talking and all that other stuff. So
I would have been around to catch that Basio class. Me and Dre was talking about this last night. One thing that I love about Bassio's transition in education is he's focusing more on how to create diverse business.
Yes.
I think so under discussed in this industry. So many people put their focus on how to be a better barber, how to blend better, how to enhance better. What's the best clipper? What's the best shop? What's the best location? They miss that barbering is a door that opens up to a platform of so many diverse opportunities.
Yeah.
And I love that someone's finally pushing that narrative forward so that other barbers can open their minds, because before you can do anything to warrant any success, you have to be able to adjust your mindset on how you're approaching it.
Yeah. So we've hosted them twice, and then the third time was Amarillo, which is about a month ago. He was at their opening. Every time I've seen that class, I learned something new. And I mean, you could watch it over and over and just pick up new things all the time. And on the flip side of that, it's kind of frustrating when you get customers that come in and they're like, "Oh, I really can't afford this clipper, or I really can't afford to spend this kind of money. I want to do something else. I want to also get into real estate." And I'm like, where you guys been, man? You've been missing these classes.
Absolutely.
This is where all the answers are, right here. And it kills me when they're like, "Oh, well, I had to cut that day." Hey, I don't care how much you made that day cutting. You lost more than that by not coming to this class.
That's
especially at $10.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's something that I need to post somewhere. You need to put it on a shirt with the FWBS. Put it on the back that you missed out on $1 million worth of game for $10.
Yeah.
To capture $100 in a barbershop.
Exactly.
$100 in a barbershop.
Exactly.
And the thing,
I
think a lot of barbers, they miss value in their clients. Your clients, your true clients, your core clientele will absolutely understand you taking a day to go and invest in your craft and invest in your potential opportunities. The information they get at a class like that, because it's so diverse, may be value that you could bring back to your clients.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let me ask you something, Edward. How do you feel in your heart, man, when you see the seminar going on in your store? You got one of the most some of the most influential barbers giving game. You're watching the students that just soaking in the game, and you know that you had a lot to do with putting it all together. Like, what does that do to your heart, man?
It's funny you say that, because I don't even look at it that way. And you can ask my wife, and when they start talking, sometimes we're behind the counter and they're talking, and I just give them this look like I'm so focused on what they're saying. Like, I want to learn so much as well. I don't even look at it as, "Oh, we put this together." I'm looking at it as, here's my opportunity to learn more stuff. Don't be distracting me way over here, asking me questions and stuff. So yeah, I don't even look at it that way, because I'm just so focused on learning as much as I can.
So you're not sitting there soaking it all in. You're actually you're a student too.
Yes,
just like what's the name? Shy keeps saying, you're
It's
a student.
Life, man. He keeps presenting new examples of it, and what's making me so happy, I'm so excited. One, I still got these BCAs in this water, so I'm getting that energy. But in addition to that, I listen to them videos. I'm listening to you talk, and you are absolutely affirming my sense of your character, because
thank you.
You cannot have, some people are so genuine, who they are radiates so big. You ever seen somebody that may be 5'6", but when they walk into a room, it looks like they 6'2"?
Yeah, absolutely.
Energy, man. That's genuine energy about that person, that it don't matter how humble you want to be, but you ain't gonna be able to hide it from somebody that's paying attention to it. Man. And it's so rare in this industry to find people like that. That when you do, me personally, I get excited about it, man. Dre will tell you, bro, I'll talk your ear off if you let me. I love me.
That's why I think he's perfect for this podcast stuff, man. I tell him all the time, man. I think he's great at this. I mean, like, just right now, like he's interviewing you and just learned about you, but still asking questions that I want to know about. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was pretty. I'm telling you, he's the truth with this, man. So that's why I enjoy. That's why I had to get you on, man.
Appreciate it.
I had a lot of questions, and you answered.
What's good? What's good?
What's up, Trent?
Hey, I just wanted to jump on real quick, man, because I wanted to co-sign on my boy at Forward Barber Supply, man. Like, I cook for this man so much because when they first started doing the classes and stuff, I remember he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I know you do YouTube, you know, take a trip out here, let's get some content and let's start talking, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like we were trying to do business together, but he helped me learn a lot because when I was going out there to the Forward Barber Supply classes, I was barely starting my YouTube. And he put me on so much, like just introducing me to all the people he had. You know, I was talking to all the barbers he had there behind the, you know, the workers that he had, just everybody. And it was so crazy being in that situation with him. And I can say that helped put me at a different level. And he didn't even have to do that. Me and him didn't even know each other. Like, we just knew each other through social media. And I knew he was hungry with what he was doing, and he knew I was hungry from what I was doing. And we just came together, and like me and Edward talk at least once a week. You know, we'll send each other a couple text messages here and there. And he's one of the most genuine people that I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Appreciate it, Tank. We try, man. We try.
What can you say when people say that, right? Like, yeah.
That's one of the things where, like, man,
you gotta take it, right?
Humbleness in it, but it's almost listening to testimonials, and I've been reading through the comments of people who are viewing the live right now, who've been putting things in the comments. I don't know if you caught many of them, but it's a lot of people tipping their hat and shouting out words of appreciation to you, man.
That's awesome.
So it's almost to the point where I've seen some big names in here shout out some words of appreciation to you. Has it resonated to you, or has it even ever occurred to you how influential that you are?
No, you know, not at all. We started, what's the word? Not from other barbers, but from companies this year. Like they started getting on to us, you know, hey, don't post that. Hey, why are you posting this? That kind of stuff. So that caught us off guard. We didn't expect to get noticed by the clipper companies.
Right.
You know, I think I pissed off Babas about 2 weeks ago, and I definitely pissed off Anders the week before that. And I was about this close to pissing off Gamma, but Austin still were cool. So that kind of stuff we didn't expect, you know. And it all boils down to just, you know, these new releases and stuff. It's nothing crazy. It's just, you know, we're excited about them. We want our customers to get excited about them. But on a corporate level, they're like, hey, there's a schedule when this stuff comes out, you know. You can't post it too early or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. And
just working with the guidelines of the
but you know, we're just as excited because we know how cool these tools are, and we just want to get everyone else excited, you know. That's what I'm going to say about Gamma and Bablis now. And it's a totally different story. We can talk about that at a different time, but you know, I don't know. Anyways, but so once we started getting those phone calls from the clipper companies, we're like, holy, like wait a second, like we're definitely making some noise somewhere, you know. They started the sales guys started calling us and saying, hey, you know, like our other distributors are like bitching about you guys, like, and I don't understand why. I don't know what the problem is. And they're like, well, they feel like you get the stuff first and this, and I'm like, look, I don't even know. I mean, they're the ones that send it to us. Like, I don't know how it gets here. Just whenever it gets here, we just post it, you know? And I kind of feel like they had 20 years to figure this out. And, you know, we're doing things just a little differently as every young barber supply company out there, you know, they're growing up with social media and they're doing it differently too. But the old school guys are like, oh man, this is too much, you know.
This is a problem. This is a problem.
Yeah.
That they had 20 years to figure it out, but there is no way to plan for a creative approach to it. There's no way to plan.
That's it, right? That's probably 90% of it. The other 10% or maybe even more is, you know, my wife was not in the industry, so you get someone with another set of eyes on this, and that changed everything, you know. You know, like Dre was saying, you know, you walk into our store, it looks right, it feels right. All that was intentional. You know, we didn't want it to look dark and gloomy like a warehouse like most supply shops are. We wanted it to be inviting, you know, bright, you know, and just welcoming. And again, they took them this long to figure it out. I mean, that's not our problem, you know.
Y'all had 20 years. Somebody said, y'all had 20 years. 20 years.
Yeah, and it's like supply stores are comfortable. A lot a lot of supply stores and big chain distributors, they're comfortable with how things work. It's real nice when you can make a clipper and it sells for 40 years. You understand what I'm saying? But when somebody like you and your wife that come in, like you said, with a fresh set of eyes and somebody who's an excellent student of life, I'm going to keep putting that tag on. But somebody who's an excellent student of life comes in and they understand and they can see the things that can be at least adjust.
Yeah.
If you can adjust a few things to make them present better to the people who are like-minded and who's looking for the same outcome as me, that's going to change any trajectory of what you're doing. That's why the success is being collected by you so quickly, because you're doing the things that a lot of people sit around and dream about doing and they think about doing. Or we all see things that's happening and say, I would do that better. I would do that differently. It's easy to look inside someone else's business and critique the way they're doing it. I learned that from
hey, that's facts
they
right
sat
there,
out
man.
the
That's
tank.
facts.
I learned that. It's easy to critique somebody else's approaches to business. It's extremely difficult, and it takes a lot of guts to go out and be the change that you said that you could see somebody else doing.
Yeah.
So
Hey, can I say something real quick? Edward, you said you agreed with Shy right now when he said 90. You said it was 90% creative, right? I mean creativity in business.
absolutely.
Like, could you elaborate on why you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with everything, being creative is unique, right? So even when it comes, let's talk about mortgage loans and stuff. I mean, when your loan officer is real creative with how the numbers work and how to make things happen, a normal one would just say no, it's impossible. You want someone to get creative with yourself. Hey, let's figure out how to make this happen. So when it comes to like the barber supplies or to even just a retail space, we want to, like you said, have everything out on display. That's so now we got some stuff to touch and feel. When you come in, we're constantly trying to spray aftershaves in there. So when you come in, you kind of smell those scents. The look is different. We're real big on branding as well, like you were talking about earlier. When you pull up, our sign is huge on the outside. Not only that, but we have a sign just as big on the inside. All our bags are labeled, our shirts. I mean, it's just all day in your face. It's just consistent, right? So I think a lot of people fall short when it comes to normal retail. They're just like, man, I'm just trying to get a sale, where I would rather lose money and try to do things right than try to make, 20 cents or a couple of bucks off something and do it half-assed, But when I say creatively, I mean, it's just, we're shooting things differently. We have the photography background, so our images look different. Just stuff that people just aren't normally used to seeing.
I just want to touch on that a little bit. One thing that I like that y'all do, obviously I follow y'all on Instagram, always commenting in y'all lives and stuff. But I like that y'all go live when y'all get like new tours or y'all finna put something on your website. That way it lets people know that we're not just putting it online for people to buy. We're letting these people know, like, hey, in the next hour, this is gonna drop or whatever. I like that y'all take y'all tools and give it to barbers and let them use it and post those videos. Other supply stores aren't doing that. I mean, I've seen maybe like one or two other ones do that, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're about to start.
That's pretty good, man. Like that's just, it gives people a more of a visual of what that tool can do, opposed to just like assuming,
Exactly.
So the fact that y'all are doing that is really dope, and I think that's,
and we like regular barbers. Like those barbers don't even know I'm showing up that day, right? I just walk in there and this is what I do, or this is what we want to do. We don't want to give to the same barber every time, and we don't want the same response every time. We're looking for genuine responses, so we just give it to the barbers, and fortunately we know a few, but we want that real response. I don't want someone that is getting clippers for free and maybe swayed on how they say about it or what they say about it. We just want to give it to the real customers out there, So that's the thinking there. But now everyone's gonna start doing it, which is okay. Which means we just got to figure out the next step, right?
Hey, but that's the territory that comes with being an originator.
Absolutely, yeah.
Listen to this, Dre. This is for you, Dre. That's the territory that comes with being an originator. If you're an originator of something, you have to expect to mimic what you have found success in. It's inspiring somebody find success and capture it. And all of us chase it.
Yeah.
To capture it. So when we people that aspire to chase it as hard as everybody else, and they actually achieve the accomplishment, getting their hands wrapped around it and capture it, You're gonna have people that's gonna want to make that. You're gonna have people that's gonna want to see what they can do to recreate your wheel. All you got to do is continue to be genuine. Like brother, it's gonna continue to inspire. That's the ultimate goal, is to inspire people to step outside of their comfort zone and face success. That's your goal.
Yep.
That's your goal.
Am I getting a lot of outside noise?
I'm hearing something.
Just somebody in the background talking.
Yeah. Okay, this is my
Coming
wife.
for your
She's
neck, boy.
breaking
Coming for
somebody
your
up, but she's about to finish.
Hey, everything about the look. The look says it's you.
Yeah. But yo, I'm gonna get off this live, man, because it is noise. I don't want to be cutting people off, voices off, man. But man, I learned a lot about FWBS, man. So and just like I told Shy, like I was real curious at how it all started, man. So
yeah,
I learned
appreciate
that today.
Appreciate it. I'll see you next on the 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. Tank gonna be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Whoa! What's the 25th? Don't just put a date out there and don't tell everybody what it is.
My bad. My bad. Right. It's all like a secret thing. It's like nah. On March 25th, I'm gonna be co-hosting the 5-Star Barber Expo in San Antonio, and Tank is gonna be a judge, and he's gonna also give a class that morning.
You know, some light
too. Hey, listen. I want everybody on here to know that you don't see it, but Tank he's actually working while he's on here. I know he is.
Set up right here, editing some videos as we speak, man.
I knew it. That's why when you was talking, it was taking everything in me to be hushed. I'm gonna be quiet.
I do want to say one thing. I see that that Baggio's still on. If you're listening, Baggio, I sent you a DM to try to get you on the podcast. So whenever you get a chance, check it out, because you know we would love to, like, a lot of people want to know a lot about.
He actually said to Adam for like 10
Baggio.
minutes, right, like a couple of comments ago. He said to Adam.
All right, well, let me get off this, man. Let me make space for him, man.
Okay. Hey, bro.
It's getting louder over here. All right, fellas.
We
appreciate
it, Dre.
And before we hold you up super long, I just want to make sure that everything is okay with both of you gentlemen too, because we all got families, man.
Yeah.
Is your time still good?
Yeah,
or
I'm good.
Working,
okay.
Man. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get Mr. Baggio on, see if he has some time, man. But yeah, man, and again, thank you so much for your time, man. You share with us and inspire us tonight. I feel like I'm leaving. I'm sitting in the shop right now and just listening to you. I'm just looking around the shop like, man, there's so many things I want to do different now. You know what I mean? Because listening to guys, like I said, that was able to chase down success, put their hands and wrap their hands around it, that's probably the most inspirational conversation you can have with somebody, because they can tell you from a perspective of doing and not just dreaming. And with that being said, we want to say thank you, Mr. Baggio himself. I feel like I've been pronouncing your name wrong for years, man. Am I saying your last name right?
No, you said it right. Some people say
Baggio.
Bossio, some people say Bassio. Either one works.
Okay.
Edward, Tank, what up? I haven't met you yet, bro.
What's up?
So what's your name, man?
Shy. Yes, sir. Shy like like Chicago, just with a Y.
You in business with Dre?
Meet you, bro. I actually met you one time before at an expo. It was a long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I love what you're doing here, man. You got a heavy hitter in Edward here with Forward Barber Supply. I don't think people understand the amount of work that Edward and his wife put in, man, with their business. It's not an easy business that they're in. You know, they got to constantly nurture relationships. You got a lot of relationships that are in competition with one another, and it's a hell of a balancing act. And the fact that, you know, Edward's always getting products first and stuff, it just goes to show, man, that everybody mutually loves them. There's always going to be problems with distribution and competition and stuff, but Edward and his wife, man, they're doing an amazing job. And every class they put together is crazy. It's amazing. So I want to first off shout out Edward.
Appreciate it.
And Tank, I appreciate you coming to my class, man. The last class I did, bro. I appreciate that. He was front and center, man. Success includes.
Most definitely. Hey, that's Tank's personality,
Sir.
man. If it's an opportunity to learn and expand on what you're doing, if I don't know nobody
What
gonna
it
go get
is.
it, Tank gonna go
That's
get
what
it.
it is,
He
man.
gonna go get
Yes,
it.
sir.
Chris, I want to give your flowers while you're on here, man. It seems like you're on that road. I know you're busy. Please be safe first and foremost. But I want to give you your flowers on something we were speaking about. Your transition to not just teaching barbering, but first your transition from teaching barbering and YouTube, then you transition to put more emphasis on guys familiarizing themselves with more their tools, shears, and razor work, and detailing their haircuts. And now I see you make another transition into educating guys about the different facets of business and how you can approach yourself as far as not just using barbering as a hustle or a single platform, but a stair to move forward into more avenues of business that are available to you, man. And I really, 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 truly appreciate you starting that conversation and pushing that narrative, because I think it's something that's tremendously under
Yeah,
discussed in this
I
industry.
agree, man. I agree, and I think that's why Edward and Forward Barber Supply, man, they make it a point to have me come out and teach that. It's not the easiest thing to promote. Like I can guarantee you, I would sell more
Absolutely.
tickets if I was doing haircuts. You know what I mean? And enhancements and designs and shear work and all that stuff. Like that's what most barbers want to see. That's what they want to see. And you know, I've made a commitment to give barbers what I think they need in their career to really make a change, because there's a lot of, you know, when I first started out, I was teaching just haircutting, you know, and it was needed when I at least when I started out, I felt like it was needed. I got international educator year at CT Barber Expo, and you know, this is before I was teaching business and stuff. And I just decided, man, we got so many heavy hitters, man, at this point, like Tank, like Sean Cuts Hair, like you know, there's just so many people that are crushing it with education.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Get on for a little
A little
bit
bit.
to at least, you know, just show some love to Edward, to Tank, and to yourself, and
Man, well, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Your phone going out. You out there, phonies, man. But hey, that's what happens when you elevate yourself. You got to move out to them sticks, man, to get away from the world, so you can get some isolation and creative to continue to feed that creative mind, man.
yeah, y'all have a good night, man. Edward, Tank, keep doing your thing, man. You too, man. Keep doing your thing. Sorry, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. One day when you get some time, man, we're gonna have to link and try to get you on, man, so that you can expand on some of the things that you're already kind of putting out there in the atmosphere, man. I would love to
Yeah,
have a discussion with you.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. I'm down. I mean, if you working with Dre and Dre is you know, he's co-signing you, I'm down, man. We can do the podcast whenever you want, bro.
Say less. We're gonna make that happen, then. We appreciate you, bro. Be safe and tell the family good night, man.
Have a good night.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Fort Worth Barber Supply. If you don't know, man, they are co-signed by the people in the industry that know the people in the industry that know the industry, man. Hey, man, I again, man, it's amazing, bro. You've clearly created and started a wave of movement where people they're behind you, man. The industry is behind you because you're a positive representation of what we all love, man. You're finally somebody that's willing to deposit as much as they're willing to take.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You approach it that way. Brothers like Chris, brother like Tank, Cuts by Reggie, Cut Flow Dre, myself, and every reputable barber that I know that stand on principle.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait to find a guy like you so we can hold you up like this.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys.
So we want to hold you as close to the light as we can.
Yeah.
Because everything that shine down on you is reflection of us as well.
Yeah,
man.
thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
man, for sure, Edward,
Definitely,
man. Like,
bro, definitely.
Forward Bar Supply is just something total different. I say it all the time in my videos and when I'm talking to people. I call y'all family You know, I always tell people like, hey, where can I get this? I'm like, man, check out my family, Forward Barber Supply. And they're like, oh, that's really your kinfolk, your family? Yeah, no, but yeah, you know, like, because every time, like, so check it out, Shy. When I went over there the first time, I took my son with me. They were talking to my son, asking him if he wanted stuff to drink, if he was good. You know, he was good. He's a teenager. He's on his phone. He's in his own thing, you know, cool. And then the next time I went, I took my wife, and my wife really became good friends with Edward's wife. And it was just cool, man. Like, they clicked, you know what I'm saying? We went out to dinner with them, and we all just talked it up. And, like, I really see them as family, because even though I'd only known them for a short period of time, I feel that their intentions were in the right spot, and they're trying to do everything properly, not just like for me or for whoever they had, but like for barbers in general. Like, you don't see other barber supplies really throwing classes, right? I mean, you'll see a few here and there, but they're doing it because
before. This is my
so they're
first
trying to
time
actually
ever seeing
spread
that.
some good knowledge. And like he said, he had Basio come out, and Basio was giving that class, the business class, and I went to one of his business classes here in Houston a while back. And if it was similar to anything I got from that class, bro, that class is worth way more than however much they charged. I don't remember what the tickets were, but I went to his class here in Houston, and I was like, dude, this dude's blowing my mind with everything. Like, and Edward is looking for people like that to help build up barbers, to teach them what needs to be taught, not just the same thing over and over and over. Like, if you check out his resume of people that he's had at his barber supply, it's not the same style of barber. Like, he'll have one barber who focuses on social media content, then another barber who's killing the shear game, another barber who's killing the enhancement game. Like, he has so many different aspects of barbering that he's bringing to this one location that is like, bro, like, you literally just got to go to all his classes, and you can literally learn everything you need to learn about barbering from A to Z.
And I think that's so dope, because it sounds like your initial thought process behind that was, when you were presenting those classes and bringing those barbers to teach those different aspects of barbering or business to your guys in the shop, it was to create a more rounded, what do you call it? Multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife barber. Someone
Absolutely. Yeah.
Be the absolute best representation of the shop, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And staying on that subject, right? Something that stuck out to me, what Tank just said, man, and it really just stuck out to me now that I'm really thinking about it, because I see Tank got that wedding band on, I got my wedding band on, Bob's married, you're married. Everybody that's been on this live tonight is married, right?
Yeah.
I want you, be it that you're in this enormous position, right? This enormous position. I would love for you to kind of expand on the importance of having that spousal support system, and how to maintain the balance of not breaking something that in a lot of cases we can chase our goals so much that we underestimate how fragile our relationships can become in that kind of weight.
Sure.
I would love to hear your opinions on
that.
Man,
I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about it, because I was hard-headed the first 6 years. So
you're the perfect person to talk about.
Absolutely. You know, I really felt like I knew how things needed to be done, and this is how we're going to do it, and that's it. And it wasn't until, you know, we did this barber supply, and I was like, oh man, had I opened up or left the guard down 6 years ago, you know, we could have really blown things up on these barber shops, you know. So because of that, I mean, I feel like, man, you know, as hard-headed as we can be sometimes, you know, just put that away, you know, get over yourself, and let your wife help you, let your spouse help you. Again, getting that outside set of eyes on something, you know, is tremendous, and could be invaluable, you know, because all we kind of get tunnel vision. Like, all I see is a client in front of me. I got to get, you know, 15 cuts today and whatever. And, you know, you get someone you get someone with a separate, different set of eyes and different view. Hey, you know, why are you doing 15 when you could do 10 and raise your prices? And you know, let's let this shop work for you, not you work for the shop, you know, that kind of stuff. So It's very important. You know, if anyone's kind of struggling with that right now, not that I've got it figured out, but I feel like we're a lot better. We're a lot better now than we were 7 years ago or 6 years ago. When it comes to business, you know, just get over it and really start bouncing ideas off each other, and you know, just trying to see where you guys can go next. Because there's no way we could have done this quickly had we not worked together.
Absolutely. What about you?
Oh
Tank,
man,
Talk to
so
me, man.
it's
To me,
funny
Tank.
because me and my wife we're similar in certain ways. Like we bump heads a lot when we have our certain ideas, and I tend to not want to give in at first, but then once I, like Edward said, get over myself and start thinking from outsider looking in, I'm like, okay, maybe wife is right. Maybe we should go this route, or maybe I should attack this way for better results or quicker results or whatever. But I think it's a lot because they're outsiders looking in. Like we see it from our barbering perspective only. Like at least for me, like I see it in my perspective only. So seeing it from someone who's not in the industry but kind of knows what's going on, I think it's really good because you get that second set of eyes that helps you get to where you need to be. And if you have your wife helping you, like how I have my wife helping me with everything I do, how Edward had his wife, I'm sure you have your wife helping you do certain things. It's a lot easier to push a car when you got someone helping you push that car, you know. So you have one goal. It's easier when multiple people work towards that one goal, pushing that car to that goal, than it would be if I just say, you know what, I'm gonna push it by myself. So I really think having that spouse there to support and push and keep you on the right track helps a lot, and it can get you to your goals a lot quicker.
That's a excellent. I mean that again, that go another one of them need to go on a shirt. That's on the front real big, put it on the back. Having a spouse is like having an extra set of hands and legs to help you push and do. That sums it up, man. For me, I was a lot like Edward, and I was hard-headed, bro. Bull-headed, pig-headed, unmovable object. Once I had my eyes set on my goals, and I especially when it came to barbering, because I don't know if you guys can identify with this, but once I came into barbering, this is the first time I ever was able to see an objective that I wanted to accomplish, but not only see it, but also have a plan on how to accomplish it. This is the first time I ever been that close to being able to actually set out a plan and approach it and have it. It could be mine. So with that being the case, it gave me a ignorant, selfish sense of confidence where I was going to go 1,000 miles an hour in that direction. Anybody my way, I was running them over. Anybody by my side was either going to keep up or get drugged. But we're going to get there because for the first time in my life, I can reach it. I can see my goal and I can accomplish it, right? And a whole lot of things that, like you said, had I been more receptive to my wife's opinions and my wife's advice and her outside looking in perspective on all those things and more, had I been a little bit more receptive all those years ago, it's absolutely no telling. It's absolutely no. I couldn't even put it into imagination space, because when I look back on just not barbering, but the sustained relationship with my wife over the years that I've been knowing my wife since the 4th grade. We've been married for now 8 years. When I look back on my relationship with my wife, it's a whole lot of memories in my mind that had I just listened, the outcome would have been totally different. And it took for me, I just turned 36 years old March 9th. And it took for me to turn 36 years old to sit down, look at my life where it is, where it was, and where I plan for it to be and where I pray for it to be, and be like, this whole time I thought I caught you and I ain't realized God put you here. This whole time I'm walking around like an accomplished hunter. But you the gift. Not what I can do with my hands, not my ability to communicate, not my eyes, not my ears, not my mouth. it's that woman that's been by my side, downloading all that into me.
Yep.
She's the reason that I'm able to transform into this man
Amen.
that I am today. Because had it been up to me, it's possible that I could have got to where I am and further. But who's to say how long that would have took, or how many more mistakes I would have made, and how many more bridges I'd have burned on my way getting there.
Yeah.
So I just want to take this moment to shout out all the wives, because we understand we on here. It is 9:52 where I'm at, and this is our flowers to you, so you know that we not just on here talking about us and being selfish, baby. Absolutely not. We on here understanding the powerful women that we have in our life as men. Married and committed to marriage, we understand that the institution of marriage is constantly under attack, constantly. But it's so beautiful when it lends itself to you beyond what you understand it to be. I think you've definitely found that with your wife, be it that she will not take no. Your wife was able to slay some giants.
Yes.
And get them on. Hey, look. We don't care what you don't have.
Yeah.
Get us on a piece of paper where when you do have it, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy enormous. Tank,
yes.
You are the most active social media person on the internet that I
man,
know.
Because I work my ass off, man. Like, people don't understand, dude. Like, well, I'm sure y'all do, but it's like people don't understand how much work actually goes into this. And I appreciate that, man. Like, it means a lot to me. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Definitely, bro. Definitely acknowledge it. Definitely see it. And be it that if you're a barber and you're active on social media in any capacity, you understand the workload that goes into it. And if you're a barber that works on social media in any capacity and you're married, you also understand how heavy that can weigh on a relationship. Because all the time that you're using barbering actively, promoting yourself actively, the energy that you're lending to your clients actively, then the time that you're also lending to your ability to edit, create, continue to allow your mind to be creative in that space, all that time is time that's sacrificed. It takes a woman who supports what you're trying to do and stands behind your dreams to be a part of that, because as much as you do it, she putting them batteries in your back, baby.
Yeah.
Every time you wake up, you like, I don't know about this. I'm tired. She gonna throw it in your back and fill up that tank again and say, no, you started it, go finish it. I love it, man. I love it. So with that being the case, I want to ask, is there anything that you guys want to promote? I don't think we had an opportunity. We definitely gonna have to have you back on, man, because we didn't get an opportunity to really expand on the is Amarillo new location. We didn't get a chance to really expand on what's your plans for it. I got so many questions, bro. I can have you again. I get excited about this, bro. I will talk to you all night long until you, hey, get off my phone, bro. Right?
So I'm good, man. Today's a good day. Everybody's asleep, so if you got some more you want to get out, now's a good time.
No, I'm gonna take my behind home before I'll be in the shop. I'm in the back of the shop. If you don't see me, I've been shivering because it's cold. But again, I want to take the time to thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your transparency, your energy. Tank, it's always a pleasure, bro. You are always welcome. You again, since we've communicated that first time, and I feel like this is gonna turn into that. The more that I get an opportunity to conversate with you, Edward, I'm really into and fully subscribed to building relationships, man. I don't want this to be a one-time thing. I love sewing into people. I love having the opportunity to build relationships with people, because I think if you sustain those things, that's how you live forever, man.
Absolutely.
Live forever.
Yep.
So we definitely gonna have to get you back on. Tank, we're gonna have to get you back on again. I can't wait to see what reels you create from this content tomorrow. 2 weeks. And thank you guys both so much, man. If you need anything, if there's anything you want to, I love helping promote, push. If there's anything you got coming up, like the barber show you got coming up, please shoot me a flyer. Provide me with something so I can help push that, man, because I may not be able to make it in person because it's short notice for me, but that don't mean that I can't help get somebody else that can get that information and be a part of that experience, man.
Just a couple of things real quick. If you don't follow us, there's a link in our bio. has all the upcoming classes. And then something happened this week. You know, we got some, and I don't know how much you know about this, but we got those original Andis Zero guards that came in.
No.
And people were losing their minds. You know, we thought we were getting 20. I think only 10 showed up.
The old school purple. Old school guard?
The old school. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. But we put them online. They sold out in 15 minutes. So I know there's some people that were asking, and they're gone. So, but I always say that's kind of one of the benefits of having us in this position is, you know, we know what we're looking for. So when these old 20-year-old distributors are, you know, they don't have a clue, right? So we got really fortunate. I think we found 20 or 25 Fat Master blades earlier this year.
I need that. I had it. They're gone.
And they were gone in an hour. So people, there's a few people that asked. They're gone. But that's the way things work around here. You know, we'll post them and they're not going to last long. But just I want people to know we're always looking, and because you know we know what you guys are looking for. We know what you guys are asking for. Why Andis hasn't remade that guard, I have no clue. And they tell me they get asked all the time about it, and it just doesn't make it up to the higher ups. I don't understand.
Sound that it makes when it go through. So look, it sounds like I got something else for you. I think this will help everybody, including myself, right? Including me. Make sure that you first and foremost you click that little arrow, drop it down, and go and follow FW Fort Worth Barber Supply. But while you're there following, this the nugget, right? Get close to your phone. I want you to hit it close. You have to turn on the post notifications. Select it to all. That way when he gets the new products,
Yep.
And he go live and he letting you know what he got.
Yep.
If he got 20 pieces, you might be part of that 20, baby. I'm going to be part of that 20 because now that I just found a plug where I can get some Fat Masters potentially, some original Andis guards that you cannot find. I don't care where you go.
They'll make them. Yep.
And they also said earlier in the line, if you came in late, you missed this nugget, but because I care about you, I'm going to put it out there again. Because of his relationship with a lot of suppliers, he get a lot of opportunities where you may catch a deal that nobody else can offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you ain't got to listen to me. You know, I'm just regular old friendly neighborhood shot of barber, but understand, I know who I'm from being following. I know why I'm following.
Appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate y'all, brothers, so much, man. Y'all have a good night. Please extend my gratitude and thanks to your families for allowing this to happen. Again, I understand the sacrifice of time.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good one, man. If you need anything, again, shoot me some flyers, whatever. I'm with it, man. I'm in full support. Tank, I'll be seeing you, and you will be seeing more likes. When you see this, that picture, whatever that little picture of me looking off to the side trying to be cute for the camera, just know I'm liking all your stuff, man.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one, brother. Y'all have a good night. This has been our Cut My Way Out podcast, and we here every Wednesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. This is the platform for you. If you believe in this industry, you love this industry, this is the platform for you. Y'all have a good one, man. We're going to catch up soon.
Sounds good.